We good? We all good to go?
Everything look good? I think so.
I think you all look great.
You're so handsome.
No, you're just talking to Rob. You're just talking to Tommy Wiseau, Batman.
Get out of his way.
But hello, everybody. Welcome to Fanboy Talk. This is TroyBoy17 coming to you live. I am joined today by my regular co-host, Mithi.
Hello.
Hello, Mithi. And I'm also joined today. We are joined today by some fantastic guests, our best friends in the entire world. Doug from For Every Kind of Geek.
Hello, everybody.
And we are also joined by McDermott from Brian McDermott. I don't know how to introduce you because it's just
I don't know. It's just my name.
He's Robert
It's just your
Pattinson. He's
we're joined by Robert Pattinson from Robert Pattinson's The Batman.
I've heard he also goes by McDigma.
Okay, that's all right.
Absolutely refer to him as
There's
McDigma.
a McDigma balls joke in there somewhere. But we decided because it is FanDome Day, also known as the Batman Day, because that's the only thing of note really we're talking about. We were going to talk about the Batman, and we're going to talk about other stuff in FanDome. But before we get into that, as per usual, did we watch anything? Did we play anything this past? Anything of note? Mithi since it's the last podcast, but Doug and Brian, did you guys do anything recently that you want to talk about? That's not.
Did we do anything recently?
I'm empty-headed. I do absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I know you don't really read very many comics, so.
Yeah, no, not really.
I only
That's nerd
work
stuff. I don't do
that's
that.
The life. That's the life.
I think I rewatched Friday the 13th Part 6 the other day when while I was working actually, which is a great favorite of mine. I love that movie.
Okay.
It's quite good. Yeah, it's a good time.
Actually, I did read something. I'm gonna break my own rule and say I did read comics this week.
Oh no!
I also read comics this week.
Oh shit!
I got
didn't read comics this week.
the omnibuy of Jack Kirby's Jimmy Olsen, and it is a trip. It's amazing.
That's cool. That's fun. We'd love to see it. How big is that?
It's only like 2 trade paperbacks, which is surprising.
It's interesting you would call that an omnibus then.
Yeah, well, it's like his entire run.
I guess that's to me an omnibus has to be above a certain amount of pages. It has to be
gotta
above
be
a certain amount of
novel
dollars.
Yeah.
It has to be a certain number of C's and thick.
Yeah. You have to be able to use it as a shelf.
You're supposed to hear a certain amount of crunch when you open the book.
Yeah. Oh god, that's the reason I don't get omnibuses, because I don't I love them. I love having them, but
it's
I can't
just too much in one
read
book.
them. I have my big Sandman one and I adore it. It's gorgeous. It's a fucking spell tome, but it's when I try and read it, I just hear and it hurts me. I couldn't read Invincible for the longest time because I was using the omnibus, and I because the way that the pages dip into a big book like that, you lose all sense of a spread.
That's why I always do the trades. You worry less about just trying to crease the pages to read everything. That's enough about comics. We don't
talk about comics here.
We got to talk about the media, the content.
Content. Comic adaptations. That's what we do here.
You know what I read though this weekend? First off, I watched The Social Network, which again, still my third favorite movie. That's it's amazing. That movie is amazing, and I kind of want to do a video essay on Andrew and Emma and Tazem now because of it, but I'll get to that later. I might. The other thing I did is because I never read comics and I just kept seeing people tweet about it. And I'm like, okay, why not? I'll just sit down and do it. I read Batman the Imposter.
How was that?
I don't know if you guys... It was okay.
Okay.
That was the first time I felt like it was just all right, I know what I'm getting into, and I read it and it's exactly what I expected. And it just feels really... It's written by the same guy who co-wrote The Batman. So I'm like, okay, this is going to be something.
Who is it? Sorrentino?
Matthew Tons. I don't know.
Tomlin.
Tomlin.
I think it's Tomlin.
Sorrentino's doing something else.
Matthew
it looks
Tomlin.
Interesting. I was never obviously DC has all their fucking Batman books, and it's annoying, but they are relatively decent books most of the time. As annoyed as I was that Tom Taylor's big announcement book was fucking Batman the Detective, as annoyed as I was.
Zdarsky
that's a good book, though.
Zdarsky's just announced another one.
Yep, of course. Classic.
How many yoga mats am I gonna have to eat now? God damn it.
But it's like they are relatively good ones. Like they're given to good writers and shit.
Yeah.
So I get it, but at the same time, obviously I'm frustrated by it as well.
It's frustrating.
Yeah, because it's like, fuck, we still don't have a Green Arrow book. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
But then this one feels I don't know. As I was reading it, it was just more and more like crime jargon stuff that I'm like, the crime family works like this, and this is how this works. And I'm like,
it's a gritty.
All right,
Batman.
I get it. I've watched The Dark Knight. I've read gritty Dark Knight stories. I get what this is going for. And because the premise, this is not really a spoiler because they talk about it too, but like the idea is that like Leslie Tompkins is Batman's psychologist. And so that's how you're exploring Batman, is like him talking to her as a psychologist. Well, that's an interesting concept. Yeah. But I feel like it's just the first book, so we don't know much. But I still feel even within that, they don't like use that to its full advantage.
Yeah. And
I will still read the next issue because I want to see them do more with that concept alone. But then beyond that, it's like, okay, this is a thing that happens with the crime family, and that's another thing that happens with crime in Gotham. And I'm like, I get it. Gotham is a shitty city with a bunch of crime. Can we get on to like the interesting stuff that happens?
We've been there. We know that.
Yeah, exactly. We've been there. It's right here. Are you looking at the city? Look at how shit this looks. It looks fucking beautiful, but it looks
really
like
pretty
shit.
though.
It's kind of why I miss like the DCU era, because like they I mean, there were still like a lot of stories set in Gotham, but they built them all from like different angles. So you had like Batgirl and Burnside, and it was like a fun kind of like poppy adventure. Then there was Gotham Academy, which is incredible.
Gotham Academy.
I wish it would come back. Yeah, I just like seeing Gotham from like different angles besides just another rundown all gray and grit city.
Yeah, or even worse, where it's just New York, where it's just a New York ripoff.
Yeah.
Yeah. 0 Year Boys.
0 Year.
Yeah.
0 Year.
Well, I read the preview of The Imposter, which is like 3 pages or something. And I came to the conclusion that it was just the recycled ideas from the Batman that they maybe couldn't fit in.
Yeah, that's what it feels like too. Of like, okay, I know what's
Leslie
going on
in this. Let's just get her in this.
Yeah, in the comic. It feels like it does very much feel like that. Like, okay, here are all the scrapped ideas, so let's put in an animated thing, but instead it's a comic.
Let's monetize it.
Yeah.
Well, who does he play Among Us? Is like that where the title comes from?
Yes, that's what it is. So he shows up, and then Leslie Tompkins like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "There is an imposter among us." And then out of the vent in the ceiling, like a little Among Us thing pops out.
I would not put it past DC to, in the next couple years, do Batman Among Us. Like an Among Us crossover.
Yeah, like an actual thing.
Like what they did with Fortnite. It would not surprise me.
Guys, I think Leslie Tompkins is sus.
I think the Joker might be sus.
But yeah, that's what I read.
Cool. That's it. I'm so far behind the comics. I haven't read anything in a while. I watched Scream 2 with Olivia though. We watched the first one. We watched the first one like years ago. I fucking love the first movie, and I dug the second one. I don't know what the like consensus is on the sequels, but like I dug it. It was cool. I didn't love it. It wasn't like amazing or anything, but like it had some interesting ideas. It talked about like the characters dealt with like trauma and shit. It had this kind of fun like the meta-ness of the first movie was kind of like expanded upon in a different way that I really enjoyed, you know? Like I liked how like they literally make a movie based on the events of the first movie. And like I think that's just a fun little thing, and I don't know, fucking I'm not the biggest horror guy, but I had a good time with it, you know? The Scream movies tend to be my I'm big on horror slasher comedy type things, you know? And I really like the first Scream movie, you know?
See, this gives me an idea where what if the Scream franchise ends up pulling a Community and it gets more and more meta, so eventually it becomes like an infinity window of just adaptations of the Scream.
That's what the new one is actually. They're watching Scream 2, watching the movie about Scream 1.
A new like millennial horror buff watches Scream and he's like, "Oh man, I'm going to copy that."
Isn't Jack Quaid in the new one?
Is he? I haven't seen the trailer yet. All I know is Jenna Ortega is in it, and she was in The Babysitter 2, and she was really good in that. I like The Babysitter.
I'm excited for Scream 5. I actually didn't see. Yeah, 5? I haven't seen Scream 4. because I don't know, Scream 3 burned me in a lot of different ways. That's everyone's kind of like and a lot of people will defend it because it'll be like, it's a studio thing, they're making like studio jokes, and it's like a big thing about studios and movies and whatever. But it went a little too far for my taste, and so Scream 4 wasn't something I was really interested in watching, especially at the time. But I think it's Wes's last movie, and I love Wes, so I feel like I have to see it. And if I want to see Scream 5, I have to see Scream 4.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Scream 5 looks fun. It looks like a good time. I have my theories for who the killer will be, but I'm not going to spoil it because you obviously are watching them now. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't think of anything else. Like, we're still playing Danganronpa, but that's a good Danganronpa 3. I actually really like. I think I like Danganronpa 3 the most, but you guys haven't played Danganronpa, I'm assuming.
No, I play Fortnite. You can't ask me this question.
Yeah,
I've been playing Fortnite with CJ, and I've just been grinding. I'm trying to get the Carnage skin before the season's over. That's all.
I don't think it's possible.
I don't think so.
The way
either.
They're doing XP this season is awful. I hate it.
Yeah, the thing is, I'm at level 20. I like increased tent levels within the past like week or like 2 weeks already.
Maybe
so like
then.
I've been playing like 5 matches with him like every night for the past like.
When does it end? When's the?
I don't know. Soon though, because they're doing the Future Foundation stuff, and they'll probably do something soon.
I might. No, I won't. I won't.
You're gonna have to buy the Carnage skin.
I'm considering buying levels, but I won't.
You've been buying too many Fortnite.
I know,
skins.
but it's Carnage from Venom 2. Let there be Carnage.
That's exactly why you need to stop. That's exactly why you need to stop.
I know.
Is this where my Patreon money is going?
Honestly, I would. But I guess if that's all we have to say about our past weeks, we could get into the news, or as Candace Patton said all day today,
newsflash?
Every 5 fucking seconds, newsflash, everybody.
Newsflash, everyone. The Flash has his golden boots. That's what we're here to talk about, right?
I feel so bad.
We'll talk about the gold boots for 10 fucking minutes.
Yeah.
I feel so bad because like Grant Gustin looked just so tired.
He was so unhappy.
Dead. He looked so dead.
Oh my
he looked
God.
like he was about to just pass out on the ground. It was brilliant.
I feel so bad for that guy because he loves the Flash character, but I feel like he hates being on the show now.
Well, I think just because of all the negative discourse, because like, I mean, I don't want to be that guy, but I think like fan communities can and will tear anything apart if it doesn't look exactly the way they want. And you know, like, I mean, if the story's good, then I could care less if he has golden boots or not.
The gold boots have been the least important thing to me in this entire show's run. Like,
that
I don't
said,
get...
they look great.
They look nice. They look cool. But they spend so fucking long talking about the boots that I'm like, what is
That's
this
the
season
one marketing
about?
thing.
Who's the villain of this season?
They had all the behind the scenes because this whole season 8 is being built up as if the first 6 episodes of the season are like season 8 of Arrow, you know, where it's like jumping across shows and jumping across stuff, and this huge like Armageddon event or something like that with Iris involved in some way, shape, or form. But I think that's the sign of like, this is the last season. They're just exhausting everything they can. The behind the scenes give him in like a yellow reverse Flash suit. Grant Gustin is in like a reverse Flash suit. So it very much feels like, okay, this is their final hurrah to just try some shit. And at least that means I can make a video essay at the end of it. But
that could pay off very, very well. That could mean like they're allowed to do things without the fear of like the CW not just necessarily cancellation, but like the CW formula and structure and stuff like that.
Because that's kind of what happened with Arrow season 8.
Which I don't even like season 8 of Arrow, but like, you know, I think they made a lot of good changes for that at the very least.
Yeah. They changed the structure of the show. And the Flash, the biggest problem with the Flash, albeit all the content, is the core structure of the show.
23 episodes to tell a single story is really, you fucking can't.
Yeah. With certain characters you have to follow up with.
And certain filler is good. I think like some of the best episodes have been filler, like the Flash Time episode, but like you can't make 19 of those a season. Like, that's fucking impossible.
Especially when it feels very procedural.
Yeah,
you know?
it's a network show. That's all the CW shows, with the exception of Stargirl and Superman Lois. Which, wait, did I talk Stargirl? I'm still watching, and I still very much like Stargirl. I got very excited.
I saw the trailer. The trailer looked cool.
It looked really good show.
It looked really shot well.
It's a really good show, and obviously there's Jeff Johns involved, but like, it's a good show, and I hate to love it this much. It's the Spider-Man show I've always wanted, basically.
You know, we talked about how we're not gonna.
I know.
We talked about how we're not going to talk about the Golden Boots, and then we like just talk about the Flash show for a bunch. You know what's also funny Everyone is complaining about Flula Borg. Flula Borg overstayed his welcome.
I think it should have been Pete, personally. Should have been Pete Davidson instead.
It should have been Pete.
Pete cannot overstay his welcome, but I get it. He's busy. He's busy doing SNL in an hour and a half. Oh, shit.
Oh yeah, today's SNL. I forgot that that's today.
They're gonna do a
It'd be nice if they made a Batman
Watch them
joke.
do a FanDome. They're nobody's
That'd
gonna get
so
those
funny.
jokes.
No one will admit that.
No.
But
Yeah, no one knows what fan.
Nobody
If you are
watched
not
FanDome.
in
They
this,
say-
if you are not in this, you do not care.
Yeah, fucking Tiffany, bless her heart. I love Tiffany. She was on most DC All Access a few years ago, and I adore her. I met her at Comic-Con. She's so sweet. Fucking, she was like, millions of people are watching this. No, they're not.
They're watching the trailers.
They're watching the
post on
trailers.
YouTube.
They're not watching this 4-hour
even
live
with these
stream.
trailers, it's funny. I should check the YouTube trending list again, but I saw Peacemaker trailer was trending number 5.
Interesting.
In terms of media, which was like, that's the trailer that went to number 5. But I guess there's other stuff in there.
It was out longer, I think. It's,
I'm
like,
assuming Batman's at the top of the charts right now.
Yeah, probably.
Right?
How many of you? It's got
I think it's got like 5.
It's probably because it's split across like 5
yes.
different channels.
But the main one has like 5.
Yeah.
Just wait. The moment My
5 total
Adventures
views.
with Superman drops, it's gonna shoot right up. Do you know why?
Because Jimmy Olsen, baby.
Jimmy Olsen. baby.
Jimmy Olsen. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it 1 million views just for Jimmy Olsen.
Just for Jimmy.
Absolutely.
It showed, I'm kind of annoyed they didn't show very much, because like they announced that show a long time ago, and the only things they showed were like basically things
The
we've
same
already seen.
images. It were the same images except one.
But it
extra
looks
thing.
really.
that last
it looks
year?
so fucking cute. It looks adorable. I'm really
Yep.
excited for that show.
I am also looking up the.
And Eric should totally play Superman.
should.
I agree.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Well,
can I
how's
just
he
can
gonna
I
play
just
Superman when he's
drop?
playing Wolverine?
Because
He can do both.
He's got range.
You can do both.
That's the
But
thing.
he's gonna be busy.
Come on.
That's good. Busy's
I'll quit my
great.
job and I'll be his scheduler. I don't care. I'll make it work.
You know what's
I'm
funny?
horrible at Excel, but I'll make it work.
We're gonna ride Eric's coattails to fame.
Yeah.
And with that, I'd just like to add hashtag Eric for Superman, hashtag Eric for Wolverine.
Yeah.
That's
For
with an
Wolverine. Yeah.
that's with an A and an E.
You know what's funny? I look up trending right now, and in trending for movies, it's just the House of Dragon trailer is the top. So that has to be wrong, right?
Yeah, like on YouTube.
Oh, I did actually
Yeah.
watch that more than the Batman trailer. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
my bad.
Well, YouTube is like usually a day late with trending. YouTube will
That's
like
true. So maybe like tomorrow morning we'll
yeah,
look
if
at
I
it
try and go
it'll
on trending to see like what the big thing happening that day is or whatever, it'll be like I won't be able to fucking find it.
be, yeah, that
That's
makes
just how it
sense.
works. But I mean, did you watch the House of the? Did anybody watch the House of the Dragon trailer? Because I didn't.
No. No.
I don't even know what that is.
That's the Game of Thrones.
I was
spinoff,
really
right?
mad. I was really mad when it didn't show up at fucking DC FanDome.
Yeah,
I was
what
like,
the
where
fuck,
is it?
guys? What the fuck, WB?
I mean, they
I'm
had.
kind of annoyed that you couldn't watch the FanDome in HBO Max. That was
Right?
very frustrating.
You
I just wanted to
can.
watch it on my
It
TV.
could have been a really cool. Could have been a really cool opportunity to
Yeah.
have that happen.
But I'd
it
set
was
it to
like a
plug in
really
my
big
computer and
missed
shit.
opportunity.
Yeah.
What's the
Yeah.
point of like brand synergy if you're gonna keep all the brands separate anyway?
Yeah. What's the point of this monopoly if I can't get
I don't know.
ease of consumption?
I mean, like to be fair, they've had a lot of like really weird struggles with DC FanDome. I remember last year there was just like a random CNN segment that popped up,
Yeah.
which
Oh,
was
I
the
remember
Bat-
that too.
And the Batman trailer
Yeah.
leaked in DC last year, right?
Yeah,
it, like
because
showed up
like
early for a
the
bunch of
images
people.
leaked. The ending shot of him like with the eyeshadow and shit.
Well, no,
yeah,
the
was
whole
everywhere.
trailer leaked early in the DC fan. Like
Did it?
during the
Yeah.
event, like the trailer went to
Oh,
some
yeah, you're
people
right.
like 6
Yeah.
hours before, and like
Yeah.
everybody was like, luckily one person was live streaming it, and so they got it, and then that's what was
saw-
going around.
I saw a picture of the Batcave, like pretty much as soon as I like opened up Twitter that day, and I was like, oh
And then-
shit, and I just didn't go on for the rest of the day. I was like, oh.
Which is, yeah, everything was clean for this. There was no leaks, no
Yeah,
nothing.
this was
Yeah.
a surprise. The stream was also surprisingly consistent. Like
Yeah.
there weren't any like
It was
stutters and
less
shit.
popular though. That's the one
That
thing.
might
It
be why
was
too,
less
yeah.
popular. The last year's DC FanDome was built up over like 2 or 3 months, and this one it was also
There
built
wasn't-
up
yeah,
over
there
2 or 3
wasn't
months,
much
but there wasn't a big thing to tease. No one had seen anything for the Batman, and they didn't confirm whether or not we're gonna see anything for the Batman.
Well,
but then for the moment they announced it, it was like, okay, the Batman's coming to this. You know,
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, that's
for the last one versus this one.
It's kind of funny because I think if anything, like the lineup for this has been a little bit stronger. Like they have a better balance of content for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It did just
Just
feel,
no
I don't know,
schedule.
I feel like, the lack of a schedule like was really frustrating.
Because
And, like,
this event should have been
expectation
2.5 hours. This should have been 2.5 hours.
There was so
or
much
like
filler.
maybe 3 hours.
And like there was a lot of filler for like what felt like not actually a ton happening. Like we didn't like, not to say that like we got some cool news about some things. I am very happy about like all the animated movies that they announced, and like they announced a lot of cool comic stuff. Super Sense movie, hell yeah, the Green Lantern movie, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And they showed a lot of cool stuff.
Oh wait, really?
Yeah, it's a Green Lantern something, some subtitle, I can't remember.
Yeah, I was indisposed for most of the day with a personal thing.
Perspective.
And so I only know the broad strokes. So a lot of this, this is gonna be fun.
But then like we spend fucking 10 minutes talking about designer Superman hats. They spent so long on this guy who had no idea. And I was like, it was the weirdest thing.
So way to bury the lead though. Let's talk about the Little Caesars cross.
I was just about, that was the funniest thing of the night, of the whole day. I fucking burst out screaming, laughing.
And Troy, I know I tweeted this at you. I'm so furious that they've had like a character named Maxi Zeus, a Greco-Roman supervillain.
Missed opportunity.
They didn't use
because he's not Batman. Nope. It's got to be Batman. Batman,
Little
Caesars.
Batman villain.
That's right.
He is a Batman villain.
He is.
Whatever.
No, because I was live with people in Nightcast and Tyler Goodrich, and Cole popped in there too a couple of times. And we were just live streaming the whole thing for fun, which funny enough, the stream got suspended on YouTube. So
classic copyright.
That was stupid.
Thanks, YouTube.
I wanted to keep it for record keeping, but I guess I can't now, which is fine. But we streamed it on Twitter anyways. And there were so many instances that we just were like, okay, this is so boring. Let's just cut to Hassan making noodles, and he was just making noodles. And we made
that's
a
where I
bit
showed
out of
up.
And it was like, I mean, honestly, that the reason I had more, if I were watching this on my own without streaming, or I didn't even need to stream it, but just if I were watching it on my own, I would have felt kind of bored, and like it would have been a thing of me putting it on my side monitor, checking in and out. And that was the 8-hour event, but the promise, like last year, but the promise with this was it was 4 hours. It's just 4 hours, a bunch of stuff, but it had the same pacing, or if not worse pacing, as the other one. Because for this, the problem too, it's because it's a little bit more.
Can I interrupt you just for half a second? Sorry, audio listeners, you're not going to get this, but Doug, it looks like your arm is hanging in a really unnatural way, and it's really distracting.
Like that.
Yeah, sorry,
I'm
perched on my chair.
He's playing hangman.
So for anybody who can't see, I like to sit like L from Death Note sometimes.
Oh my god!
And I just clamber all over my chair.
I'm gonna do like this the whole time. But
I'm sorry.
I feel like if I were watching this alone, I would do the side monitor thing. But the difference was these events were more faster paced when you think about them a little bit.
Yeah.
Like the Aquaman event happened just like that. The Flash stuff happened just like that.
The Black Adam thing was so fucking quick, and then we spent 10 minutes on the Injustice animated
Exactly.
movie.
And that's the problem. What would have happened if it happened during the 8-hour event? The Black Adam thing would have gone for 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Right? They would have had him on a panel. They would have had some stuff. So at least when the Black Adam thing is going on, you are watching it, even if parts of it are disengaging. But the thing with this was, since they shortened everything.
Some would say the whole thing was disengaging.
The thing was, it was shortened so much that they were like, shit, we need to fill space. So then they have like a Smallville panel that goes on for way too long.
And
or
like,
the Wonder Woman 80th
I
anniversary bit went on forever too.
I liked what they did with all the fan art and stuff, and all the cosplay
that was
stuff.
cool.
That was really sweet. That was a really cool thing.
With an event called FanDome, you really want to like put emphasis on the fans and how they, they're the reason why all this is so big.
Speaking of the dome, can I just talk about how fucking funny it was every single time they cut to a wide shot of the dome? And the people were teeny tiny little ants. It was the funniest thing in the world to me.
And the
I
perspective
think the
is just
Shazam
wrong.
one was really funny. The Shazam one was like egregious. Like they just kept on cutting to the wide, and I was like, stop.
It was very funny. It was very funny for them to play the whole Batman trailer and then at the end cut to all the people, and I'm like, okay, we're back.
They should have just ended at the. They should have just ended
at the trailer.
Ended as their one more thing.
You know what? Like those wides gave me. If you ever saw that like SpongeBob infomercial episode, it's that scene where the guy shouting hoopla. It's that, but with DC Comics. That's exactly what I got from that.
It was hilarious to see these little teeny tiny like real human beings, and then this gigantic Wonder Woman hologram next to them, towering over them.
I think Matt Draper was like, how do they get the dome so big?
What are they gonna do? What are you gonna do with the dome out when it's done? Is it gonna just stay in orbit?
Ezra looks lost. He's lost in the dome.
The answer is they just save the assets and use them every single year because they do the exact same.
Before they started talking about the Pennyworth show, one guy was like, "I found a secret exit to Wayne Manor." It's just all of the shit that they made these people. I know everybody forgot. It's on season 3. Apparently,
season 3.
What?
Why?
Who knows?
What? Where does it air?
I don't know. It's like I think it's a British show.
I think it's.
So we don't get it at all?
No,
is it
not
be Australia?
It's
be
so
Australia?
weird.
Do we not get anything?
Yeah.
But like those,
but it's on HBO Max now.
The shit they had these people say was the funniest thing in the world. I wrote a couple of them down. My favorite was after the Gotham Knights trailer, which that game looks fine. They showed that trailer. They didn't show any gameplay, but we already know what the gameplay is like.
Really?
Court of Owls.
We've already seen gameplay for it though, so it's like it looks fine. Looks okay.
Yeah.
What's like the gist of it?
It looks like it's kind of have you played the new Assassin's Creed games that are like RPG-ish?
Yeah.
It's more. It's similar to that. You know, there's like gear and like you play as 4 different characters and stuff. And there's Court of Owls.
There's potential co-op.
Yeah, it's a cool idea. It looks nifty. Which is that's not what I can say for the Suicide Squad trailer because we don't know shit about that game.
Yeah,
it's only cutscenes. The second trailer was only fucking cutscenes. Still,
what the fuck are they doing? Why?
I don't know. The game's coming out next year, so I don't know. Like, is it a shooter? Is it a fucking match 3 gacha game? I don't fucking know. Like,
there's the Flash in it now. That's all that.
Yeah,
is it Danny?
The
is
Flash
it Danny
looks
Quick?
really bad.
Oh, Flash
is it?
I'm
really
assuming.
Bad.
I assumed it would be Barry.
But the suit with the black outline and stuff, it looked like the new 52 Reverse Flash. What's his name? It's like Iris West. It's like
Johnny Quick.
Not Johnny Quick. It's like Iris.
No, I know exactly what you're talking
Daniel
about.
West.
Yeah.
Daniel West. Yeah. It looks like that.
It looks
so
like
I was like, maybe
it looks like the Johnny Quick Earth Syndicate one.
Yeah, the big thing.
Yeah, that might just be them trying to be like, oh look, we have a cool, realistic armored Flash, and he's got goggles and stuff.
Goggles, because the wind is going to get in his eyes, and his eyes are going to be dry.
Like that kind of fan art suit.
He's gonna have an Iron Man suit now as he runs around the town.
Nobody's talking about the Wonder Woman design. That is equally as bad. That's a weird one.
I never saw it.
We didn't get a good look at it.
I saw it. Looks like kind of looks like her Justice League War design from that animated movie, which was not great.
Oh, yeah.
And she's got like this weird like high ponytail that like it feels kind of almost like the reverse of the Avengers game, where you know how the Avengers game everybody looked like knockoff MCU versions of themselves. Yeah. It feels like they're trying really hard to not be the movie versions to the point of like
do something
being
else.
Super weird, you know?
I hate that.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I love how it opened with Arkham because they're like, remember Arkham, guys? It was Arkham. Yeah, let's play this game. Yeah, Rocksteady, Arkham. And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Is it my favorite universe?
No, it is. Yeah. The Suicide Squad the Suicide Squad game is the Arkhamverse, but the Gotham Knights game is not. Which is interesting because the Gotham Knights game feels like it
has more to do with it. Yeah. Exactly.
But I guess because they want to bring in Batman back and stuff, and they don't want to have to deal with like the ending of Arkham Knight and stuff. So I don't know.
I was gonna say, but he did the Nightfall Protocol.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, spoiler alert, like your job's a little bit done.
Yeah.
You've killed some of the Justice League.
Yeah.
But speaking of Gotham Knights, though, my favorite thing that was said in this entire fucking day, this whole day, was the what's her name? I don't know her name.
The new Batwoman.
The new Batwoman. Yeah. She said. She said after the Gotham Knights trailer, she said, "Forget Girls' Night Out. I want Gotham Knights in."
Okay, I like that.
And that was my favorite thing of the night, and I'm gonna quote that. I'm gonna use that every day. I
ironically liked that line.
And then in the
y'all are mean.
And then in the Batwoman trailer, there was a piece of text that said, "It's totally batshit crazy."
Yeah. That Batwoman trailer didn't feel like Batwoman, and I have not even watched the show. It just felt like they're doing something else.
And then my final thing of the night was fans love cross promotion.
Wait, when was this?
It was before the Little Caesars thing, I think, where someone said fans love promotional material or something like that.
I mean, yeah, we do, but like not like that.
Do we?
Brand synergy, more like fan synergy.
Oh, there we go. Now we're talking.
Yeah.
My chest
Hire
Today-
DC.
My chest hurts so
I will do PR
It's so
for you.
fucking funny. It's so funny. Just the corporates, and then Jim Lee went on a horrific racist tirade that they had to bleep out for 45 seconds.
What is this?
Wait, what?
What is that? I saw the clip of that and I was like, what the fuck is going on?
They did this bit where it was like he accidentally revealed like a secret about DC that was like the $65 million question or whatever.
Yeah,
and
like
they
a
had-
whole bunch of spoilers or
Yeah, they
something.
bleeped it all out and stuff, but it to an outside viewer, it would seem like he just said a bunch of horrific curse words.
And like the reaction didn't help because she responded with, "I don't think you can say that on this broadcast."
It's this like as much as I did like I was very bored with this event, but there are shining moments that are just
There are
hysterical
little
to
moments
me.
to laugh at. Yeah.
It's so
Yeah.
great.
Wait,
But nothing can top
so
the Little
what was
Caesars
the
moment.
no wait, what was it? Forget Girls Night Out.
Forget Girls Night Out.
Yeah,
I
I
want
know.
Gotham Nights in.
That's
I was-
gonna
Is
take
that the
That's gonna
podcast
take
title? That's the podcast
I,
title.
yeah. Forget Batman's out. I want Batman in. I don't know,
There,
that
now
won't
we're
work.
talking.
No, do you know what was great though? What great? Because it's so funny that last year The Rock said the hierarchy of power levels in the DC universe is going to change,
said
and
it
no one
again.
cared.
He
No
said
one
it
cared.
again.
But then they announced Black Adam for this fandom, and everyone brought it back just for this event. And so
He said it multiple
He said it,
times too.
I just wish he said it for the crypto movie also.
the,
I wish he said it when introducing Super Pets.
the moment he said it before the trailer played, me and everyone were cheering
it was
in
the
applause.
best. He
It was
said the
beautiful.
thing. I want him
Which
to say
also-
that in the movie.
Kevin Hart is Ace the Bat Hound.
Oh, that's terrible casting.
okay.
It's
Yeah.
I
Okay.
don't. I'm a big
like the
crypto
Mario
guy.
movie.
I'm a
It's
big
the
fan of the
Mario
crypto.
movie.
That old crypto show was like my childhood. I fucking adore
so
that show.
good. So
That is my
good.
favorite interact. Like
Yeah.
that's the best like version to do Ace if you're gonna make him like a bat like a talking character.
Yeah.
This is weird. This is just this looks like fucking Secret Life of Pets, but like a Superman logo slapped
I think
onto
that's
it.
looks
exactly
exactly
what it
like
is.
Super-
Down to
Yeah,
the fact that
yeah.
like Kevin Hart's in it.
That's
Yeah, they were
true,
like,
yeah.
he's done this. He could do this
It's
again.
so weird. Like, can you at least have him like pretend to be Batman or something? You know, like not that he has to act like Batman, but it's like I feel like that's the fun interaction between a crypto and an Ace like,
Yeah.
dynamic, where it's that they're dogs, but it's Batman and Superman.
Yeah,
I
well,
think it's because-
that's why that show worked.
Yeah.
Like that's why it was fun.
Yeah, because
I
it's
think-
just they're dogs and they're the
They're
same
dogs.
characters.
I think it's kind of funny because I think it's like when he did Black Adam, they're like, okay, fine, I'll take this seriously. And then the Rock was like, I just need something to splurge, man. And they're like,
I was
you can be
talking with a lady
crypto,
about
I
this.
guess.
The weirdest thing about the way they're doing Black Adam is like they cast him in this role fucking like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Like
2008.
Like 2008, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think if
13
anything,
fucking
he
years ago.
finagled his way into this role.
Yeah.
He just decided, I want to be Black Adam.
Yeah, but they cast him in this when he was
said
still
Black
like,
Adam like 25
Yeah,
times.
it
He just kept on saying Black Adam, and he'd be like yada yada yada, Black Adam. He just like kept on,
up and at them. But like it's so weird. So they cast him in this role when he was still like wrestler guy, you know, when like that was his
Pebble.
persona. He was the Rock. That was his fucking thing.
The
He was-
Scorpion King.
Yeah, like that was the way he was doing his acting and stuff. But now he's like family friendly, like kids actor. Like I guess there's Fast and Furious, but like he's Dwayne Johnson. You know, like his persona is so different than it used to be 13 years ago, and now he's trying to get back into that The Rock wrestler. Can you smell what I'm cooking? Persona to promote
Well, he
this
also
movie because
he
it
also
doesn't
got
fucking
into
work.
like he got into
Rapping.
rap somehow.
I know. Was
He's-
it Mithi? Was it you that said there's a strong possibility that he's gonna do a Venom style song?
Oh,
From
yeah.
Black
No,
Adam?
someone said that. Someone else
I
Was
said
it
said
that.
CJ? It might have been CJ.
You said that. Oh, Brian.
said
Or was it
that.
Brian? Oh, it was you. Sorry.
Brian
yeah,
said that.
I said that.
Sorry.
Brian is
It's
like
my
the source
joke.
of comedy here. Okay.
Yeah, Brian really is the funniest one here.
You know, isn't the Scorpion King basically just Black Adam though? It's
Kind
like he's a
of.
warrior who grows up and then
Wait,
takes
yes,
the
it
role or
is.
something.
It's
And
the
then he
same
like comes
thing.
back and he
That's
comes
so
back
true.
as like
Oh,
an evil
boy.
person and then fights Brendan Fraser. And Brendan Fraser kind
Brendan
of
Fraser
looks like
should have
Zachary
been Shazam.
Levi.
Brendan Fraser
Yeah.
should have been Shazam. That would have been perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
So
Brendan
I
Fraser.
don't know.
Brendan Fraser for Superman. Let's do it.
Brendan Fraser for everybody.
Every character.
Brendan Fraser for Shazam would have been so good.
Would have been so good.
Yeah.
Because he can do the like childish but he's very sweet.
Yeah.
You know,
He
because
would
like when
been,
Zachary Levi
like-
does it, like I like him in the role. He's fine, but he's doing it for comedy. But I feel like Brendan Fraser could be like. He can act like a kid, and you believe he's a kid. You know?
Well, I mean,
exactly.
if you listen to his mannerisms on Doom Patrol, he goes like way up there.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think that works.
Yeah,
Especially for a
I'm gonna
kid
watch
pretending
Doom
to be an
Patrol now.
adult.
he's so
Just
good in
because
Doom Patrol. He's so.
I'm gonna watch
good.
Doom Patrol now only because when I saw the trailer when they showed the season 3 trailer,
I turned it off.
saw
I haven't
him
been
in
watching it.
scenes. I saw
Yeah,
him.
no,
in
he
scenes,
shows up
so
a
I'm
good
like,
amount
oh,
in the
okay.
previous seasons of
Yeah, he's
either like
great.
flashbacks or like psychotic episodes or some shit, you know.
Or anytime he like goes into somebody's mind or whatever, he appears as just
the way he sees
regular
himself,
Cliff.
Yeah, I need to
I
watch
think
season
that-
3 still. I'm so far behind. I've
It's
heard nothing
so
but
good
great things.
so far.
Yeah.
Do you guys have thoughts
Love
on
that show.
Aquaman? I mean, also Shazam looked cool, by the way.
Shazam
I'm
looks
just gonna
great.
say,
Actually,
it looked really
before
cool.
we move on, I'm really into the way they were talking about Blue Beetle. I'm actually really
Yeah.
excited for that
Yeah.
now.
That concept art was fucking.
The concept art looks
rad.
great. Just
looked
the
cool.
way they
Yeah.
fucking talk about him and the way like they seem
I
excited.
didn't see it. I didn't see it.
I
but
want more of
I only
that
saw the
shit.
concept art.
They were they were hype as and that's what I wanted more of for this fandom. And I'm kind of disappointed we didn't get anything about the Black Canary movie or the fucking.
We got a bit of that with
the
Batgirl, but
Superman
even with
thing.
Batgirl, the question she was like, she's gonna have the red hair, and
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's
was
like-
that what was iconic with Batgirl?
No, yeah,
The
but I
red
was like,
hair?
I was really into
It's
the
like
way that
it's like the
screenwriter
Flash
was
with the
talking about.
boots.
Yeah, it's like that's not
Yeah.
what matters.
Yeah.
But like the way that they were talking about like the family element with Blue Beetle is really exciting to me, and they feel like very passionate about it. And you can tell that.
Yeah.
And it's like
Well,
it's
it's
so
the fact
weird
that they
didn't do that
like,
for other things.
Yeah. I mean, another thing that I like is they made a point of giving like up and coming talent a platform on this. Like Milestone did that the Milestone Initiative, which is
They did
really
that early
cool.
on.
cool. I
Too.
really like that.
So they didn't like push that down. They did that pretty early on, and they announced stuff too. They were doing the Milestone animated movie, and then the Static Shock movie that has a writer now too.
Yeah.
Love that, by the way.
Wait, who's the writer? Do we know?
I don't remember the
don't
name.
remember the name.
I'll look it up afterwards.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
it-
They mentioned he wrote a couple of comics, I think. So that's
Okay,
cool
cool.
that they're
pulling from that pool.
It is kind of weird. I saw the new Ava DuVernay show or whatever she was working on.
Naomi.
And I no.
I was literally about to tweet
No.
before they showed the clip of that show. I was like, this could be interesting because I like the Naomi character. From what I've read of her, she's pretty cool, and like I'm all for new characters and stuff. And then they showed the clip, and I was like, oh, never mind. That looks
Which is
because
so.
it's like
she was going to do New Gods. She
Yeah.
was going to do New Gods, and then they took that away, and then they gave her this.
I mean, she could still
I'm
have
like-
done a good New Gods thing. I think that could have been very interesting.
I was gonna
I think
ask
she
what we
could've.
thought
It's
about
like-
it.
Like,
It was,
she's still. I don't. Is it for sure canceled? Do we know that?
I think
Yeah,
it's
it's
for
canceled.
sure.
That sucks.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
well, that's fucked. But like I was expecting like Stargirl level of quality, like the way that show's shot, because it's also
And
another
it's
high school
not.
show. It's not. It's shot like It feels like a
worse than the
commercial.
CW.
It feels like one of
that's
those
what I
like
thought too. It feels like a commercial.
like the way that
and
they
it's
shot
like
the skateboard
worse
like
than a
moving
CW
thing.
show.
It felt like a fucking Old Navy commercial or something.
The way that because the camera's like here when they're shooting
Yeah.
them. They're not shooting them front on. They're shooting them like from here.
Yeah.
And that's very like Levi's commercially. And I don't
Yeah,
know,
Levi's
it's just-
commercials is a good way. It's just I don't know. It could still be good. I don't fucking know, but like yeah.
Well,
I like the
we
Superman Lois stuff they
definitely-
showed.
Yeah.
I really like that. That was really sweet. It was just like the walking around set and talking about it. It was cool.
Yeah, I think that was really cool. Like it's especially cool because there are a lot of like up and coming filmmakers and like people on the YouTube scene who were inspired by these movies. And it's cool that like for that they kind of gave a set visit and like a peek behind the curtain at how they do things. I like that a lot. Speaks to the emphasis on fans again, which is
and also
really
helps
cool.
that show's good.
Yeah,
Fandome.
Yeah.
didn't hurt.
Yeah. I guess the only other two things we didn't talk about were Aquaman and Flash, right? Is there anything else we didn't talk about?
Oh, I have nothing to say on Flash. Literally
There's-
nothing. I have zero things to say about that Flash movie.
I have things to say on Flash.
Okay.
Brian,
Yeah.
you go first though.
Soapbox, go ahead.
Yeah.
I have many things to say about that trailer. One, nothing happened.
Yep.
Two, this just confirms that Ezra Miller is just the worst.
Yeah.
He's the worst.
Yeah.
He's so unlikable.
I do appreciate. I made this tweet, so I it got many likes. It was my clout tweet, but I want to make the joke on the podcast. It's a very funny joke.
Get the bag, King.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that they wore a choker to reference their past work. We appreciate. But when they showed up as like on screen wearing that, it was a jump scare. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
I was like, is this am I on the wrong website?
It was hilarious.
Please. Yeah.
But sorry, continue.
Yeah, keep going.
Like I opened my phone earlier just to like check something while we were recording, and it was the shot of showing the mask. Whoa,
it's
that
ugly.
costume is the biggest misfire I've ever seen.
The costume sucks.
It's the worst.
I was talking about it with Mithi.
Chunky mask.
I said really I didn't have anything to say. I just didn't care. It's such a nothing trailer to me that I don't care.
It's so bad.
But like
it's a Batman trailer.
Really, yeah. But the suit is weird because it's like in the wide, I think the cowl kind of looks okay. There's like 2 solid shots of it.
Because it's CG.
Yeah, it's fully CG. Yeah. But then in the wide, the fucking suit looks bad. He looks like a naked man, and it's gross. Like I feel like I can't watch that at work. You know?
Yeah.
It looks like not. God.
You know what it reminds me of is I got a very distinct flashback to Green Lantern.
I knew you were about to say that.
Because like with the light up bits and like the muscle tone and everything,
it's really not hard to make a flash suit. Like the CW ones look good. I like the CW flash suit quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. I know we were like talking shit about like them being like the whole marketing of season 8 is the boots, but I think that I think 2 seasons is when they updated the cowl, and the cowl was perfect. Yeah, and then they've slowly just started to make it perfect. I think that the CW suit now for season 8 perfect.
It's great. I love it.
I like if they did that for the movie, I would. I've liked
every CW flash suit except for the one without the chin strap. That one.
Yeah, it's really bad.
No, that was gross.
But even then, the suit part of it was actually really nice. It was just the cowl. Yeah. But I even like when it was all leather. I was cool with that. I don't mind.
Season 4 was okay. I like that one, even though it was chunkier.
I like season 2 and 3 suits the most because that's the one I made for my costume, and it's important.
I like the season 6 suit. I like the season 6 suit, but I also like the season 2 suit. The season it's like a grungy feel to that leather, and I like that.
Yeah.
But it's
how do they fuck it up?
The
idea is why would they fuck it up with this
then
movie?
With this, he looks so fucking chunky, dude. Yeah, he looks so chunky, and I'm like, this does not look like Ezra Miller. It looks like Brenton Thwaites. Yeah, that's how fucking chunky he looks.
Are you calling Brenton Thwaites like chunky?
No, he's got a.
Well, he's like a bigger
fat ass. He's got a nice.
That's the point, baby. That's the point, baby.
Yeah,
that's why they cast him as Nightwing.
That's why they cast him. He's a good looking dude, but he is not the Flash. He is Nightwing. You know, it looks like
ass.
He's got a dumpy.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. That's
you know you want to say it, Doug. You know you want to
say it.
Yeah. I don't like what's there to say.
But no, just the suit was like it's so strange that like
I honestly don't know what you want me to say.
What is it with the specific Flash costume where like why can obviously the CW is
they can never get it right.
Like I never expected to like look back at the Snyder suit and be like, man, I actually kind of like that.
I miss that.
Yeah, because it's like it's a very at the very least it's like a practical look. It's a practical suit.
You know what would happen?
You know
the
real.
Scene in Crisis where they both like touch each other's suits and it's like yours all comfy and fabricy. And he's like yours all metal and strong and soft.
I want Grant to see it again and be like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah. It looks like what the fuck are these lines?
In the shot, where I think he says are you in because they're talking to Batman or whatever. Oh god. And Sasha Calle is to his right, to his left, and the other Ezra Miller is
that bothers me so fucking
spray
much.
Painted.
I cannot stand that they got 2 Ezra Millers.
I know.
I have to see them
twice. Did you have to ruin this movie this bad?
Wouldn't it have been kind of wild? Like I know he's not like the best actor in the world, and he may not be able like to handle like a movie, but it would be kind of cool if the second Barry was Grant. That would have been kind of a fun thing they did.
Yeah.
But like, all right,
they're not going to do that.
But they're not going to do that.
Here's what's wrong with the suit, is that if you really look at that image, and like if you guys pull up that image, you know what it looks like when when the cowl's down and like it's just around their neckline, the both of them, it looks like a fruit roll up. Yeah. It looks like they're covered in fruit roll ups.
They look like fucking Venom symbiote. type thing, like slimy.
It looks
it looks
you know what
it looks like
real bad.
You know the concept art for TASM? You know the concept art of like those really weird, like super weird red suits? That's what it looks like. It looks and it's unsettling.
I don't know. It just looks like a fruit roll up.
Also, I don't know. I get they're going back and it's like all cool Batman stuff and it's Michael Keaton's voice. And I'm like, I'd honestly rather have Michael Keaton back as the Vulture in the Spider-Man movies than I would him Batman in these movies. You know?
Yeah, I could have gone without him.
If they really wanted to do Michael Keaton Batman, why couldn't we just get a Batman Beyond movie? You know?
Yeah.
Like that's.
I think we might be getting one.
We probably will. Yeah, but like that makes more sense.
Because they're gonna do that. They're gonna do that Batgirl. I'm almost.
Oh, you think Batgirl's gonna be like Batgirl Beyond?
I think that he's going to be the mentor for Batgirl.
I don't hate that, actually.
I'm like almost certain. I'm almost certain it's going to happen.
I don't know. Obviously, like I love Terry and stuff, but like that wouldn't be a terrible way to do it. Because at least it's not a Batman movie. My standards are very low.
It is kind of funny though that it's like there's just two Ezra Millers. I don't know.
I mean, obviously, I feel like one's going to be. Like, because he's wearing
and one's Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Are you having a stroke? Are you okay?
I'm having a stroke. I'm sorry.
Oh, you think one is Snyder cut and one is Justice League?
Yeah,
I don't think they would reference that. That would imply that WB would reference how much they fucked up in Justice League.
Yeah, and that I don't know.
No, I think one is going to be secretly Thawne or one's going to be secretly Reverse Flash. It's probably not going to be Thawne because Thawne is too good of a character.
I think one is from like Barry from that universe.
Yeah, or is he Barry? Or is he like Red Death because he's got a Batman suit? Like
but it's just that looks like a comedy bit. That looks like a bit where he's like, I don't have a suit. All right, take one of my suits. Spray paints it, and that's it. That's what it feels like.
I don't think that they could do Red
listen.
Like I just don't think that.
There's so much
really
lore.
don't.
You're assuming that this movie will be good.
Yeah. What if the post-credit scene is Batman Who Laughs?
Oh,
I'm calling it right now.
I'm
calling it right now.
Good night, guys. Good night.
See you guys. Bye-bye.
Like, you know how they have those...
I'm quitting comics.
You know how they have those, like, little end cards at the end of Avengers movies saying, like, X will return or whatever? What if it's just Batman Who Laughs will return in force?
Oh, and he's not in the movie. Well, that would be really funny if we watch the Flash movie, Batman Who Laughs is not in it, and then the credits say Batman Who Laughs will return. It's like, what the fuck? He wasn't in this.
That's their takeaway from Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker.
Don't say it, Brian. Don't say it. The Batman who whacks off.
The Batman who whacks off.
Oh,
and with that, I'm gone. Goodbye, everybody.
Is that a good segue into the Batman?
Yeah.
Do we have anything for Aquaman? No.
Fuck Amber Heard.
Black Manta looks cool.
He looks cool.
Patrick Wilson.
He looks cool.
Patrick Wilson is also in it. Yeah. Cool guy.
I like Patrick Wilson. Real handsome
and
dude.
I like James Wan. I actually think the movie itself will probably be pretty cool. I just really dislike Amber Heard.
Machines. I like the machines.
They
showed Amber Heard in 2 shots.
Yep,
they
too
know.
Many.
They know.
Too many.
I know.
Amber Heard is really steering me away from that movie.
Yeah. And I think I'm one of the only people on the platform that still like relatively enjoys the first Aquaman. Obviously, fuck Amber Heard and shit. But like
I think it's fun.
It's a fun movie, and I really like the third act. And James Wan did a good job with it, aside from like some weird shit in the second act. You know.
Can you tell what my favorite shot of that movie was?
That is the best visual bit that you've done, Troy, in your videos. Is the fish sticks what you read?
That's the one video my dad watched of my entire fucking catalog. That's the only video he's ever watched. And every time people come over, like fucking friends of his, he's like, Troy's a YouTuber. Look at this video. That's our air fryer. And that's the only thing he's focused on. And I don't understand it, Dad. It's not what that's not the focus.
They're very proud of you.
You're so proud of
your dad introduces you as a YouTuber.
And it's a struggle.
That's a can of worms.
Yeah,
because it's not like a bad title, but it's just like
I don't want to be called a YouTuber.
I don't know.
That would be the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
But do we have anything else to talk about actual fandom?
No,
stuff?
let's get to the actual.
Let's get to the real meat and potatoes.
This is
the moment you've been waiting for, and DC knew it too, which is why they put it at the end of their 4-hour-long live stream. Yep. The Batman trailer.
Yes.
Is I hate it. I think it looks like shit.
I think it was the fucking worst thing ever.
Yeah.
#restore the Snyderverse.
Hashtag
say that, but I did.
I have that shot up as my background right now. They couldn't even frame it right.
They couldn't. They had the camera upside down. What's
it's upside down?
They changed the resolution and it automatically flipped it over. And they're like, yeah, okay, whatever.
But no, this movie looks like the best movie ever made.
Yep.
We can agree.
Looks absolutely gorgeous.
But I think we should put a disclaimer here before we go on, because obviously this podcast has reached a bunch of people who watch Cape shit. But I think there's this thing of so many people in the community saying Batman looks amazing, Batman looks amazing, Batman looks amazing, right? And then I feel like people who are not in this community perceive that as, oh, it's just another Batman movie. It's just another Batman movie.
I don't know.
But it's not, right? We want to think that it's not. Do you think... Hopefully, when this movie comes out, we'll get that reception.
Well, actually,
but
I think I have a pretty good counter to this, because I watched FanDome with Olivia, and Olivia's like relatively in Cape shit because I force her to be like constantly.
I feel like she could not be your girlfriend and not like just assimilate. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, she gets shit by osmosis, and she is into the things, but she's not like a Batman fan. She's not like hugely following the discourse. She really only watched it because it was like FanDome was on and shit, and it was the only reason I woke up that day.
Right.
But like,
okay.
But like, even she was watching it. She was like, "Holy fuck!" Like, she was like really into this because it's a great trailer.
Yeah, I sent it to somebody and they were like, "Whoa!"
Once this is playing in theaters, and I mean, granted, not everybody's going to theaters, but like once this is playing in theaters, once it's on TV and shit in TV spots, people are gonna see how pretty this movie is. People are gonna see like the tone of it. They're gonna see
Greg
just
Fraser,
how
man,
great of a fucking trailer it is, and they're gonna be like, "Oh shit, this looks like a good one." You know, that's just how movies work. I think we tend to overthink. You know,
Greg Fraser like should
Lion.
retire.
Yeah,
he should retire.
I think we should stop making movies. Movies need to stop at this point. This is like, what's the point of continuing after this movie comes out?
I've seen this trailer like 30 times.
Yeah,
if not, probably like 50. I watched it the entire way home.
I watched Lion for a project for a class I was in like a long time ago. Because I didn't want to read the book, so I just watched the movie and then read the Smart Notes. Because I'm a shitty student. But that movie because I watch Indian movies, right? That movie, Lion, captures Mumbai in such a distinct way. Like the way it shoots the fog and it shoots the environment and it shoots the aura. Because I've been in Mumbai only once, but I remember that aura. And Greg Fraser's able to capture that and just completely beautify it. Because Mumbai is a fucking... not a shithole, because people live there and it's cool. But also, there's a lot of fog. There's a lot of fucking dust. There's a lot of pollution in Mumbai. But the way Greg Fraser shot that movie was taking it and making it just look like it was beautiful.
That's why he's going to be great in Dune.
Its beauty. Because that's what he's great with Dune. That's
Dune comes out on Friday. Batman. What the fuck is that? That's coming out.
What?
Dune comes out in less than a week.
Yep.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
People have already seen it.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's
where have I been?
I don't know. I just found out too. I saw a TV spot for it. I was like, oh shit, that's soon.
The only reason I knew that is because I watched. I guess I could know what I'm doing next week. Yeah. But that's what this looks like. Like, this looks like that kind of Mumbai hazy. Yeah, stop it.
This is my favorite shot.
Looks like that. Yeah.
Tommy Wiseau, Bruce.
Yeah, right there. Yeah. But I just really like the way he shoots cityscapes a lot. And I mean, this is like my fucking favorite just photo. And I don't know. I'm not going to go on for Greg Fraser for too long because Brian, you probably know more and you want to talk more. But
yeah, there's a dreamlike quality to a lot of his landscapes.
The anamorphic here is like crazy. Like that opening shot of the trailer, like, you know, pulling into the diner and, you know, the SWAT is coming in. Crazy. It like that is so, for such a simple shot, like theoretically, like that could be done in such a different way. But that, I think from the get-go, it just says, no, this is different. Like, from its art, from every single frame.
It's something that Zodiac. I noticed for this go-around is, like, from set photos and obviously the first trailer, I was kind of worried because the color palette was looking kind of gray. Like, there was that one shot of
the Batmobile. The MCU discourse? What is this?
It looked like Tommy Wiseau. The color palette looked like Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah.
There. Just kind of...
Like, I mean, there was that one shot of the Batmobile starting up, and I thought, okay, well, like, maybe we'll see some more color.
Yeah.
This trailer completely just blew me out of the water because we're seeing reds, oranges, blues.
Yeah.
Like
we're seeing the sun.
The sun.
We're seeing the sun.
Can I just say how fucking happy I am we get to see the sun in a Batman movie? What was the last time that happened? I guess we haven't had a Batman movie in a while, but like it feels like I don't. It's
like a vibrant sun.
Batman
it's
existing
like
in the daytime is so happy to me, and he's wearing the suit still. You know, like the sunset shots are gorgeous, and I love it.
The variety in the sunset shots is cool because you can see in the other daytime. This trailer, and probably this movie too, is obsessed with rain. It is obsessed with creating rain, and that makes me feel like a lot of street time shots are gonna be more reflective. And that's how you create the light from two sides, you know?
Yeah.
That's
and
cool.
I
That's
really like that because that gives the haze. That gives a better feeling of haze.
We were talking about this before the podcast. I have this theory that this is taking place all in one night.
Yeah.
That could also, with the rain, that could explain why it's constantly raining. It's just raining that one night, you know?
And then this is the end where it doesn't.
Yeah, where it stops raining. Yeah. Which is why I'm expecting a relatively like cool and, you know, a solid arc for Bruce and stuff. Which we
it's a great arc because
if this is a one night movie, holy god.
Yeah, it's giving me like Arkham vibes where that's like the thing.
The only thing is then where does the funeral take place? I guess that's the beginning of the day, and then maybe
it starts on one day, but like the climax is one day.
Yeah, like it's a week long like long Halloween, or not even like it's like a long Halloween type fuck Jeff Loeb type thing with like seeing the murders and stuff, but then the last 2 to 3 acts are a single night, you know.
More of a long weekend.
Yeah. Long weekend at Bernie's.
He got Monday off.
Yeah. He beats Riddler to a pulp and just masquerades him around.
It's like Thanksgiving where it's a 4-day weekend.
Yeah.
He fights crime and then he's so tired he doesn't wake up, so Alfred has to
but I feel like it can't. I feel like it can't be. I feel like it. I don't know. I feel like it really can't be one night though, because there's that whole Halloween scene that they were shooting.
That's
and
true.
I feel like, do you know what I mean? Like there's it feels, and they do the press conference.
Maybe it builds up to one night. Maybe it builds up.
That's mainly what I'm saying. The last 2 acts are the last like confrontation is a oh shit, it's a one night thing, you know.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of what they're teasing about this movie is setting up context for Batman of like he acts like this, he does like this, and that is stuff you can cover at like within a thing, so you can cover all of that, so that by the time this one night comes along, you know everything about this character.
It's like the reverse of the Killing Joke of the one bad day.
Yeah. Whereas if you're doing
had one
all
bad
of this
night
in one
that
night,
made him recontextualize how he's Batman, you know.
I have a theory here that does involve the Killing Joke in a manner.
The Joker.
No Joker, but no Joker. So I think that the person that they capture in the diner and the person who, when like the thing goes up, is not Paul Dano.
That would be.
I think it's like that scene in The Killing Joke when he goes in.
Yeah. And
he realized, because he goes, "What have you done?"
Well,
and it's very similar.
I thought that too, and then I looked at that scene again. Though you can see Paul Dano's reflection in the mirror when he's talking to him. Not the mirror, the window. So it might be that Paul Dano may not be the fucking Riddler. That would be a crazy twist. He's Edward Nashton, and he's like he's basically a serial killer. He's disturbing, but he's not actually the serial killer, you know?
That would be
really wild.
Cool.
Yeah.
That would be crazy.
Yeah,
because that would explain why it's more of a mystery. Because it's like, if it's a mystery, we already know who fucking did it.
Yeah,
that's you know,
that would be so cool though. I'm thinking about that now, to just be like, we don't know who the fuck this guy is.
Yeah,
it could be like,
and he's like, this guy is a serial killer, but he's not this serial killer.
You know what will make me mad?
Speaking of riddles though, the riddle that Riddler says in this, "What's black and blue and dead all over you?" Yeah. That's a shitty fucking riddle. That's a terrible riddle.
To be fair, that is very on brand for the Riddler.
That's valid.
Yeah. Honestly, all the riddles that we've gotten so far are kind of not good.
I kind of like the one in the first trailer. It's like, if you were Justice, something about being blind.
That's okay. Yeah, like, that's okay.
You know what I want? You know what I want? I want Robert Pattinson to come down, and he's wearing his glasses, right? And he pulls up the fucking note, to the Batman. He opens it. It says, Mr. E.
No!
Enigma. And then he goes.
And Jim Carrey comes out
I would
in
fucking
the tights.
Die if that's what they do in this movie.
Yeah. Mr. E.
Paul Dano's character's name is actually Riddler backwards, and then Bruce has to take somebody's lipstick and write it on a plate and hold it up to a mirror, like, holy shit, it's the Riddler. And that's what they say when this is a very gritty true crime noir type thriller that really focuses on its detective skills.
I want it to be, he holds the mirror up, and you know how they get one fuck word, one F
One
word?
fuck, yeah.
He holds,
It's Batman.
he just goes
On the
fuck.
Batmobile. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, like
That's-
what you heard, like, I don't know, like I've seen through Twitter, like there's test screening reactions,
Yeah.
and people just go, he's the smartest Batman. Bruce, like Robert Pattinson,
They've said
Bruce
that
Wayne
for
is
every
so
Batman.
smart.
They've said that for every single fucking movie.
Yeah, but it would be really great if that lipstick scene happens.
Like he's the smartest Batman, but just by
Batman.
a little bit. Just by a little bit, because it's like every other Batman has been a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
in all his movies.
Remember when Christian Bale recreated?
I was just
like
about
that.
to say, that is their detective thing. They shoot bullets into the wall.
And he was like, oh, it's this caliber bullet, dude. You had the shell.
You had the,
Yeah.
you had the cartridge. And there was a fingerprint on the bullet when I recreate it through my.
Honestly, though,
How?
like, what if they just leaned into it? What if we got like a himbo Batman?
Himbo
for the
Batman that
next
only
go-around?
relies on his computer to solve crimes.
He's like, Alfred, please help me.
Holy shit, that'd be great.
I saw some behind the scenes pictures, and I didn't see, because we were going through the behind the scenes thing, and I didn't see these pictures, but I saw
I
someone
didn't
post
see
on
that.
Twitter.
I didn't see that, by the way.
Oh, you
didn't
didn't see
see
the behind
it?
the scenes
Okay.
thing, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Someone
There's a
sent it.
lot of
I couldn't find it.
surprisingly, like I need to go through it and write some notes on it before I do this video, because there's a lot of interesting stuff in there.
Yeah, but there was
Okay,
one
cool.
shot that I saw on Twitter. I didn't see the moving shot, but I saw a still image of some kind of video. Maybe they're interlacing it with something else. But it was Batman and Gordon standing together, like during the middle of the day-ish, breaking down a door, like as they're investigating something. And then there's another shot, too, of Batman and Gordon, like going down to a garage with a bunch of cars. And you might have seen
there
that
is.
somewhere else,
Wait, no,
too.
I did see that shot on Twitter. I saw the.
So
the
I think
car
there's a
shot,
good
but-
amount of
yeah.
either the end of the first act or second act where Batman and Gordon just hang out for
I
like
think-
a bit.
Speaking of
Yeah,
Gordon, I think you're
like,
probably
They just
right.
have the fucking
Speaking-
Teen Titans Go
Speaking
like
of Guy
pajama night
Gordon,
Sunday,
though,
you know?
can I say my theory that I waited for this fucking podcast to
Oh,
say?
here we
He's
go.
the
Here we
Ringo.
go. Your theory is
I think
something.
that this is going to be an anti-cop movie. I have this seriously strong theory that Batman is working with the cops at the beginning of the movie, and Riddler is obviously trying to tell him something, like he's trying to have him realize something about society or fucking whatever. Like
how
I
there
think
are bad cops among us.
But literally, I think that part of it is Riddler's going to uncover some corruption in GCPD, and
Yeah.
Batman's going to be like, we gotta take care of this, Gordon. And that scene where Gordon aims his gun at the camera, presumably at Batman, I think that's when fucking Gordon turns on Batman. I think there's going to be some bad blood between them. I think this is going to turn into some like, I think they're spoilers for the Suicide Squad. Anybody who hasn't seen it, people have seen the movie by now, but. Do you know how Peacemaker got a show? Peacemaker was the one that fucking turned on everybody. I think they're going to do the same thing with Gordon, and they're going to say a thing. Is it a prequel?
Interesting.
Is it a prequel? Is it? Oh, fuck,
It's
well, never mind
a year, but it's a year before the movie.
No,
well,
he's in
never
a
mind.
hospital though.
No.
he
I'm
wakes
talking
up
about
with
the
the
Gordon
Gordon
show
show.
is
The
gonna-
GCP, yeah, the
They,
GCPD is.
yeah,
yeah.
they could still
It's
do
a year
something.
before the-
Then maybe not then with that, but I still think that there's going to be some. Because they've said that this is going to recontextualize Batman. They're going to do something. And maybe this is just my wishful thinking. And I know like this is like sacrilegious with fucking the Gordon relationship. But that is a huge change with anything we've seen with Batman stuff. You know?
But again, you got to realize with things that people claim are sacrilegious, people thought that Wayne parents being good people was sacrilegious.
Yeah, and I think they're
Telltale
gonna
came in and just flipped that on the dime.
and I think they're
just
going to
like
do
that.
something similar with that
So.
too. I think they're going to make the Wayne's pieces of shit in this movie also. Because I love
I used
that.
to be a piece of shit.
I used to be a piece of Thomas Wayne's going to have slicked back hair. But
Or
like
Dan Flash's
the
shirt.
scene with
White
like the
bathing
fucking
suit.
where
Wayne
he-
Manor's gonna be full of white couches.
but like the scene where Bruce is like running from the cops, it gives me like all these crazy vibes of like this might be the movie that Twitter is looking for. This might be the movie that is like, oh yeah, Batman is actually kind of a hero for the people, and maybe Bruce has to become the hero for the people. You know?
No, he's
Because
a hero
people
for
are
the
talking
Twitter
about-
users.
Yeah, there we go.
So Brian, say something so everyone can see your background for a second.
Yeah.
Like
Wait.
like Brian, say something.
Speak.
So everyone can see your background.
Hello, everybody. I don't know. Can you
Say
see my
some-
background?
No, not yet. Say some more stuff.
The shot he's talking about the shot with the red
yeah.
shot where
Yeah, so
Bruce is
yeah,
red
yeah,
people.
This
this
shot
shot.
here.
Troy,
I
if
actually
you're-
no. I have a
Yeah.
theory about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, so a big inspiration for this movie Matt Reeves has talked about is, notable piece of shit Roman Polanski.
Yeah.
In Chinatown. and I don't know if you guys have seen Chinatown, but it has to do. It's a good movie. I can't really lie. It's kind of a good movie. It's kind of one of those things where it's like, but just illegally stream it.
Yeah, there we go.
But but Chinatown has to do with corruption in LA and a lot to do with water. Like water is like a big thing in like irrigation and, you know, droughts and things like that. I'm not going to get into it. It's kind of complex, but I do believe that's kind of what we're seeing in my hand's not showing up. Seeing in a way here is that there's something going on with the tunnels. I'm convinced of it. And I'm convinced that this is actually the Batcave or somewhere around the Batcave. And I'm convinced that Batman is leading people through to safety.
Yeah.
In some
what if
way,
it's some
shape, or
like
form.
what if it's some
really
like human
cool.
trafficking ring or something?
Yeah.
That,
like something where he's
You know how
Because I
Riddler's
want
like
it to be a scene where he saves people. That's because this whole trailer because I heard it from someone else too who was like, because I showed this trailer to just some dude that Scribe knew, and I was like, okay, yeah, what do you think? And he was like, yeah, seems pretty dark for Batman, even though I know it's already dark. It's like really dark, and I'm like, but knowing the way that Matt Reeves has talked about this character and his passion for this character, although he can twist things on it, and I will get into one thing that might happen, and I think that should be one of the last things we talk about. But other than some of those things, I feel like there is still going to be some sense of hope with this movie.
Yeah, I think so too.
And I need a scene that is him saving people. There's a lot of what we've seen is him beating the shit out of people, intimidating people, being a scary motherfucker, and then being.
You mean Batman beating up poor people?
Poor people?
What
and
if
using his money for charity?
What if
There's going to
that
be
is
an
the
entire sequence, not a scene, but a sequence of Robert Pattinson spending money on infrastructure.
There
in this
we
movie.
go.
No,
That's-
not Bruce Wayne,
that's-
not Bruce Wayne, not Batman, but Robert Pattinson.
That's why
The actor
his
from
base
Twilight.
of operations is in a train station. You mark my words.
He's like, I just wanted to buy a hot dog on the streets, but you know what? I'll donate this to charity.
He pulls a
Have
one
you guys
slur
seen that
double
show
X.
film? The GQ movie where he goes and buys a hot dog?
He wrote that in an afternoon. Pretty impressive.
That's what I want Batman to be. Honestly, he should just write the next Batman movie, and it's him wanting a hot dog and the Joker.
That would be like a wild movie. That dude has wild ideas. That would be just wow, what a movie. A mess, but a cool mess.
But like speaking of like triumphant endings and stuff, I this scene in the red scene in the fucking the water and shit where he's leading people out. What if that is the big triumphant moment, the big like character thing that shows? Because I think I said it in last year's video, and I'm going to talk a lot about it in this new video. But I think that the arc of this movie is going to be Bruce. It's going to start with him beating the shit out of poor people, you know, like quote unquote beat out of poor people, beating the ever living shit out of everybody, like that scene, like where like the fucking scene from the first trailer, you know, where he's like on vengeance and he beats the guy to death basically, and you see fucking Tim Drake from Titans like terrified. I think
doing the only face he knows how.
But I think this movie is going to have Bruce have this arc of like, oh fuck, I can't do this. This is not what Batman needs to be. This needs and I think that all this talk about fear in the trailer really interests me. Like he talks about the bat signal. It's like it's not just a signal, it's a warning, and it's to scare criminals and shit. And I think he's gonna realize that's not what the bat signal should be. He needs to realize the bat signal is a hope thing, is a hope for these citizens. For, you know, it's to scare criminals, but also a to, you know.
And if I can piggyback on that, Brian, if your theory is correct and he's leading them into the Batcave, that's a really cool like kind of symbolic element, because he's bringing the people into the idea of Batman and
or just leading them through that.
He's also bringing them into let's say that Wayne, like the Waynes are pieces of shit.
Yeah.
Let's just
I think it's fair to assume that based on there's not to like steal shit from the video I'm making, but there's the like web of things that he's looking at in the trailer.
Yeah.
It says sins of my father, and then
but is that
I thought that was the
Robert Pattinson?
It may not.
It may be Riddler.
It might be, yeah. But then there's also the first trailer where like the way that Riddler is talking to Batman implies that he knows that Bruce is Batman and he's trying to show him something. He's trying to explain and he's trying to expose corruption.
Maybe the Riddler broke in.
Maybe.
And did that. Like that.
That'd be really cool.
That could be.
I mean, he did in Batman Forever, right?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
This needs to be Batman Forever 2. That's what I'm looking for with this movie.
Yeah.
Lesson learned: don't make your secret base an unguarded public subway system.
Yeah, really. But like going back to that point though, is that let's say that they are pieces of shit, right? But even pieces of shit, they could have their good days.
Yes.
So let's say that this sort of terminus, this subway system was one of those things. It's kind of like the same thing as Nolan, so I'm not really too keen on it. Like it's a little bit rehashing, but let's say it's like a good thing. And so he's leading them into this dream. Like he's living in the broken down dream of his parents. And so he's leading them into here. And what this like represents was like a way to get through the city safely, hopefully.
Yeah.
And so like he's trying to lead them through to safety through the dream of his parents. Like that's cool. I think that could be really cool.
Yeah, there are a lot of layers to this, and I really appreciate that. Like the way Matt Reeves has been talking about just the story and the whole process behind this, it feels like he wants you to like pour over every beat, every shot, every frame.
Oh, don't worry, I will. I will.
We will. And speaking of like symbol stuff, we were talking about symbols and shit. I think like with the whole signal thing that interests me also is the bat signal looks like fucking shitty. The bat signal is not like this.
It's like two
this
pieces of scrap metal. Just on a thing.
It's scrap metal that's thrown onto this fucking vent basically, and it's like it's slapped together. And it's what interests me. I was talking with Mithi about this. The Batman, and this might just be a branding thing. I don't know because the Arkham games did this also, but the Batman title logo that they put at the end of the trailer, that is a bat. That is the ears. That is a very clear bat, right? The bat on his chest and the bat in the bat signal are not that. It's this like it's just the wings basically. It's sort of like the first appearance type looking thing.
Yeah, it's very first appearance.
And in the notebook that the notebook that they showed in the BTS, not BTS, huh? BTS, love BTS.
I saw that on Twitter.
Stan Jungkook, everybody. Yeah. But in the notebook there's a shot, and it's his notebook because they've said that the notebook's gonna be his narration and stuff. But they're test logos. They're like he pulls a fucking Sam Raimi
and
Spider-Man.
Some look better than others. Some look better than the one we have right now.
Exactly. Yeah, and some are more bat-looking thing. And there's a piece of text that says next to those things needs to be a clear representation of a bat. Like needs to, And I think that is him saying, "Fuck this thing, this symbol made out of the gun that killed my parents, potentially, that some people have been theorizing for a while. This thing is not a symbol. This is not a symbol of hope that I need it to be." And then he fucking makes an actual proper bat signal, maybe with a yellow outline if they decide to be nice to me. Please fucking God.
I want to see if they do it, because I saw art of it, of like them taking the gun but then like doing like paint splotches of white on the side and putting in. I like the design of that, but I don't know what
I've seen somebody do yellow with that. That could be cool.
I just really hope to God. I'm like, I don't know. I really don't like the oval. I hope we never get.
The oval can look cool sometimes. I really like the way the oval looks in the new Dan Mora art. It's for that new thing.
Yeah,
but that's also like it's like a 70s look. So like
the oval also feels, the idea of an oval on the symbol, there's a part of it that feels superficial. Yeah, And if these movies are so grounded in reality, it seems hard to.
It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to put the oval in what they're doing with this suit specifically.
Wait. Can we talk about something with his suit, though, actually? This is something that I find very interesting, is that in the first trailer, when it might just be because it's so quick and it's like expanded upon in this trailer, but there's that shot where he gets shot point blank in the chest, and it looks like his armor breaks in that first trailer, but in this one, it very clearly just bounces, and I think it actually hits a goon in the back.
Oh, really?
I think it does. And then they shoot him again, and then he just looks like, come on. And then he starts punching, and then of course there's that awesome, to the rhythm, like fucking Baby Driver cool. Rhythm is rad as hell. But dude is bulletproof in the way that Superman is bulletproof.
Yeah, well, I thought was I don't love that. It's cool. What I thought was really cool about that. What I thought was really fucking cool about that is even he's bulletproof on like the chest thing, but when he gets shot in the head, he's fucking like getting punched in the face. Yeah, he's like recoiling, which I think is really neat. I guess it's just like, how does he not? Because his legs are like cargo pants.
Because they Uzi him. They like take an Uzi and shower him with bullets.
Yeah, and I'm like, how did he not get shot in the fucking legs in the dark?
Yeah.
Do Dude, like bullet spray, like that's a thing.
Like if it was a shotgun and they were like syncing up, because they could still sync it up to the beat. It was just a shotgun and they go boom, boom, take down. It would have worked, I think, a little better.
You could see more with the Uzi thing, I think, though.
Yeah,
more visuals with it. Like it's just that to me seems like just like it's a comic book movie. Sometimes, which like it's I don't know. Which is interesting because it's like this movie's like half super grounded in reality. Like he has a fucking squirrel flight suit instead of like a glider cape.
I wish it was the glider cape.
I think it could be cool. He's going very fast, and I really like that.
He looks like a bat.
Cool. He's going just really fucking fast. That's rad. Yeah. But then there's also shots where he's like
into a building.
Yeah.
That'd be really fun.
They're like, whoa, look at, and he just goes too low.
Too low.
Yeah.
But then there's also the shot where he's like breaking through the like right before the cool shot where he's getting fucking railed with bullets. There's this like half a second shot where he's breaking through some glass. That looks like some Snyder shit of like super realism, in a good way, because I that's one thing I'm not really sure where it's trying to be.
There is some big like the Riddler rigs up an explosion, like not just the car that we saw explode in the trailers, but like he rigs up like an actual like fucking
like it's Harley, in the beginning of
Harley
the trailer
Quinn running
thing.
a truck into the Ace Chemicals.
Yeah, he pulls like he demolishes a building. It looks like
and
that could be the horrific thing that he does that makes Alfred go dear God.
Go dear God.
Yeah, he could. Yeah. But it could be revealed that building had corrupt people and shit. Like I genuinely do think not to say that I'm like siding with Riddler because I'm not. Obviously, I want to preface
fellow.
But I do think they're gonna try and pull not necessarily a Killmonger with him, but I think his intentions are going to be relatively good, of trying to expel corruption, but in a way that is costing people and innocent people lives.
Well, if nothing else, he'd be like a victim of the system that he's trying to take down.
Yeah, we all know that the best. It's not fucking
the best
they
villains
teach
are people think they're
the best
heroes,
villains are the ones that you can relate to. Okay, like sure, yes, I agree, but like I think that they're really Matt Reeves. I think is gonna really almost gaslight you into being like, damn, like I get it, like I get it, but like, damn it, dude, like stop.
And that's why I'm so interested in this like potential arc for Bruce. Because to me, the best villains are not just villains that you relate to and think that they're the hero, but they're villains that push the hero to be like, fuck, you're right.
Yeah.
Like you're wrong, but you are right, and that's why I love Killmonger so much.
Challenged.
I want to see
him like,
and he is. That's my favorite. My first favorite shot is the shot where he's beating the shit out of the Riddler, and Selina is terrified of him. I love that.
Yeah.
But my second favorite shot is when he's just when Paul Dano is in the like prison cell and Bruce is like trying to just intimidate him. He's like demanding.
What did you do?
Yeah. He's like punching the glass, and Riddler's not having it. Riddler's just not flinching. And I love that Bruce is like in his eyes. You can see, fuck, I am not scaring this guy, and I am worthless right now. I have no power here. And I love
that's what Matt Reeves is saying. Is like when I think when the last one, obviously I had to be a fucking little dweeb, and I couldn't actually watch the thing, so I have no idea what
the discussion spent more time on Catwoman, it seems like, than on Bruce.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but in last year's, they talk about how he's pissed that the experiment is not working. He talks about it as the criminological experiment, and it's not.
I wanted to talk about that.
It's not working, and I think that what you're saying, Troy, is precisely that, where he's like, shit.
Yeah, and it's like it has been working up to this point with terrifying Tim Drake from Titans.
Yeah, and he's just doing the same thing.
Listen, I think he's doing a good job in that scene. He's almost crying. I'm impressed. I feel bad for him. I don't watch Titans, so I don't mind.
It's the most dynamic it's ever looked.
There is an aspect of the criminology experiment, right? Because I keep coming back to that.
I don't remember that. I don't remember him saying that. That's a good point.
He stressed that point a lot last year, and I think going back to that idea of this is a criminology experiment. There's an idea to that where when you're doing an experiment, you're messing with rats in a cage, and you're trying something, and you're testing a hypothesis, and it doesn't work. The thing with Batman, and the thing that I want, and maybe the scene with the lake or whatever where he's leading people, we'll get to this. He's messing with real people too.
Yeah.
He is messing with real lives, and at the end of the day, he has a psychological effect. And you were talking about the whole Tim Drake thing of like, it's not Tim Drake. I'm just gonna call him.
We're gonna call him Tim Drake because we don't have a name
Stop
for him.
slandering my boy, please.
Yeah.
Listen, he looks good in this movie, all right? Where I don't watch Titans, I think he looks fine.
If he's gonna scare the shit out of Tim, and he'll be like, okay, I guess that maybe worked or something. He also scared the shit out of Tim.
Yeah,
and
he traumatized essentially his child.
Yeah,
yeah.
And what that gets back to, I'm gonna say something now, and you're gonna get pissed off.
Do it.
Titans has been trying to do this for 3 seasons. Every time they fucking fail.
Yeah.
Every single time. They're like, Dick Grayson is like this, but then slowly he realizes something. But then Dick Grayson is like this, but then he slowly realizes something. And I don't know if you've seen the latest episode, Brian, but
I have
Doug,
not
I think
seen...
you have.
It's bad.
It's bad, but they try to do this. They try to do this concept of like,
it's
okay,
not worth
Dick Grayson, come back to your roots. At the end of the day, you are this son of John Grayson or whoever the fuck, and it's like, okay, but that seems so disingenuous with that show because you're not giving enough stuff to back that up. Whereas with this, you're putting. If we start the movie with the scene you're talking about in the train station where he's beating up these people, and then we go to the Batcave and we show him. Okay, this is just part of my life. You know, it's a concept that even when I was writing short films, I was like, I'm interested by the idea that you show a character doing some stuff, and implicitly because they're the protagonist, you just side with them.
Yeah.
You know, when I show a hitman in my movies, when I show a hitman in my movies, you just side with them because that's the main character. When I show Batman in the movies, you're gonna side with Batman because Batman's fucking Batman. But then the challenge
like the Sam
of the
Raimi
movie,
quote.
Exactly.
Wait, what's the Sam Raimi quote? I don't know that.
It's the sorry. You said exactly, motherfucker. You just went along with it. you were like exactly. Wait, what's that?
Wait, no, I was talking about the other thing. Fuck.
Sorry, it's the Sam Raimi quote. It's in the High Top video. It's where he's like, you know, when you put on the suit and you have the horns and they come in. The kid is with you, like you are with that character. You get it without having earned it. Because it's just you paid for the ticket. There it is. You have to earn their admiration. That's what he was trying to do with that movie. And
the challenge with this movie, I think, because we were talking about how Matt Reeves did the Planet of the Apes movies, and you talked about how it kind of a lot of them end with this era of like kind of pessimism almost, right? Or I don't know if it's pessimism, but just like.
It's somber.
It's a downer ending, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is going to be a downer ending, but I think the challenge of this movies will be, okay, you have Batman and he is Batman and you're going to express him as Batman, but then over the course of this movie, you're going to do something to make people not side with Batman.
Yeah.
And I think by the midpoint of the movie, you have to be like, there's going to be a scene where he's like standing on top of a rooftop, like crying in the rain. And you have to be like,
hey, Batman doesn't cry. He's a man.
No,
Batman
that's just the rain. That's not his tears. That's just the rain.
Yeah. But you need that. I think you're gonna need that moment in this film where the redemption, if they're gonna redeem Batman, right? Because we're talking about, okay, over the course of the movies, he'll get redeemed and he'll become Batman. That redemption needs to be earned, and that redemption can only be earned with an act of heroism.
And I think I don't know what that'll look like. I think that redemption scene, I think that moment, I think that is that red scene. I think that is that scene in the water. That's what I want. That's because that is that moment of like, oh fuck, I am truly gonna be a hero right now, not beating up people, not scaring criminals, but actually saving the children that were me, you know, or that I was. Yeah. It like we were talking about this before, and it just now fucking clicked with me. I think I do expect a relatively positive ending with this movie. I don't expect them to end with like 0 year Gotham City being destroyed. As cool as that would be rad. But I think the reason the Planet of the Apes movies end so somberly is because they're a prequel to what effectively a post-apocalypse movie. True. They're a prequel to the Earth is destroyed. Oh no, get your dirty paws off her, you damn dirty ape, you know? Like that's what he fucking says. That's the quote.
I know, it's just funny every time.
It's an A+ Charlton Heston.
But like that is the Planet of the Apes movies are a relatively, I mean, they haven't aged. Sorry, the old Planet of the Apes movies are a post-apocalypse movie, you know, and so it's like these are prequels to get to that point. Unless we get a post-apocalypse Batman movie, that'd be kind of rad. I don't expect this movie to be in that structure, That's just my prediction, you know.
And I think you were talking about the scene. Or go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, building off of that, I have this kind of like half idea, half theory, where, like, you talk about a moment to demonstrate how he's changed. I don't know if this would like work in the context of the movie, just because like it seems like so much is building the idea that like the Waynes aren't who you think they are. Part of me thinks like it would be really cool to have like this final confrontation with the Riddler and for him to go, oh yeah, all that stuff about your parents, I just kind of made that up. I wanted to get you like
crazy.
And like
that happens in an Indian movie, and it's my favorite Indian movie of all time.
But like the whole point would be,
but it would be still like, the character arc would still happen. He would still have that recontextualization. It would be the moment
where like you would think he's trying to goad him into doing something dangerous, and like at that point Batman would just be like, no, I'm not gonna let you win. I've beaten you, and he just tosses him aside.
I would really love it if this movie ends with I'm not fuck Jeff Loeb, and I'm not the biggest fan of Hush. I don't love that book. It's very overhyped. It's good art, but that's really it. Good art and a couple good moments.
Paul Dini writes a better Hush.
Yeah, he really does.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I do really like the scene in Hush where it's like, where the way that they beat Riddler is just by being like, I don't fucking care, by just ignoring him. And like
nobody cares about you, Riddler.
Yeah, nobody cares about your stupid riddles. What is black and blue and dead all over? Nightwing is.
Oh, that was harsh.
Can I just say though? I swear to God, I thought Alfred said "dick" as a response to that. Thank you so much.
Great joke.
But like I would, and I don't know. I want that to be the way that they quote unquote beat Riddler. It's just don't give him power by not listening to him.
Wait. So you're saying that the way to beat Riddler is the same way to beat Pennywise?
Oh no!
And
call him a baby.
And so that this movie is in the same universe as Andy Muschietti's The Flash. We're gonna have 3 Batman
cinematic universe
and 1,000 Ezra Millers.
Oh my God! Oh no! Actually, I don't know if you know the scene where Batman is leading those people out. Those are all Ezra Millers. Those are 100 Ezra Millers. And
that's actually
lost.
That's actually not Robert Pattinson either. That's actually Red Death.
Oh no.
Okay, but for real though, I'm gonna lie down.
Every person that he beats to shit in this trailer, which is a lot of people, get their fucking teeth kicked in,
which that like gets
very aggressively. So cool. It's all Ezra Miller, actually.
Yeah.
But the thing about him beating people
not getting
to a
hit,
pulp,
it's actually Ezra Miller fighting people, and they filmed it. That's actually a stunt double. He's just like
the thing about not beating people to a pulp, and this is where I have reflected on this a bit, because this is, I don't know, this conversation is interesting to me. It's a conversation that everyone had, but I don't know. He beats a bunch of people up in this movie, and Christian Bale also beat up a bunch of people in his movie, and he never actively killed anyone, right? Yeah. But the defense for, even if it seems like he does, is that, okay, we have this story moment in which, okay, he says, this is why I would not kill anyone.
Yeah, we can assume that most of that it's as many fucking explosions happen in the Dark Knight trilogy. He is not killing anybody except for Harvey Dent.
The question with this. Do you think Matt Reeves because he's read Batman Ego, he's read all these Batman stories, he understands the point of that, but I still wonder, based on just the visceral violence and the amount of like, just, okay, I'm gonna, like him beating the shit out of that one dude, and Catwoman being like, oh, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah.
Oh, I was into you and now I'm not.
The whole
or now I'm even more into you.
Do you
think incels are like, wait, I thought beating the shit out of someone was manly and sexy.
No, like I think that. Sorry,
do you think he's gonna kill someone?
I don't think he's gonna kill. I think what this movie, you mentioned the Bale movies, or the Nolan movies, I guess is what they should be called, because they were his movies. But
they're actually Warner Brothers movies because it's a Warner Brothers property.
So
okay,
right,
come
the
on.
Studio.
Oh no.
Sorry, I got a tweet and it distracted me. Those movies, as he beats the shit out of people, and even the Snyder movies, he beats the shit out of people, and they kind of have an arc in BVS where he learns to not kill people. It doesn't really work. It doesn't really, but
still kills
the
people.
Violence, the hyper violence in Batman
after
media
he shot people.
Literally, yeah. The hyper violence in Batman media is always glorified. It is always, look at how cool Batman is. He beat this guy almost to death. Look at how cool Batman is in the Arkham games. You can constantly break people's legs and shit. Like, it's this horrible. It's like he's doing horrible fucking things and putting people in comas.
Like, and obviously, we haven't seen like the movie. We've seen the trailer, but
but based on the way it looks like,
sounds
I'm
crunchy.
getting it looks very violent, but the
Which
vibes I'm getting from this. Sorry, you go ahead.
No. What are the vibes you're getting?
I'm just getting vibes that this is, instead of it's gonna be saying, hey, this is fucked up, Bruce. This is not like, it's gonna be saying, Bruce, you put this guy in a fucking coma. You might as well have killed him. You know, you beat this guy to near death in front of Tim Drake and traumatized him. No, you're no better than Joe Chill.
In my idea of like, okay, if you're redeeming Batman to the point of like, okay, that redemption needs to be earned later. I wonder if him killing someone in the middle of this act would fit that.
Maybe
because it would be like the moment to push him to be like, "Fuck, what did I just do?"
Maybe remember that thing we were talking about, how we think it's Riddler and it's not Riddler,
and then it's him wearing the.
What if he kills the guy and he thinks it's Riddler and it's not fucking Riddler?
So what you're saying is they're stealing from Green Arrow Arrow season 5.
Listen,
is what you're saying.
Listen,
we're gonna do that.
Oh no, we're gonna get Felicity.
See, but like, but here's the thing: is because going off of like what we talked about pre-show, like.
Pre-show,
if that is, but like
we're not professional.
Listen, buddy.
I'm sorry. Continue.
This is basically what DC FanDome did. So,
so true.
This is better.
We just don't have.
Am I Candace Patton?
Like a wide.
Oh my god, I'm Candace Patton. I'm gonna carry the whole fandom on my back.
Here, I'm gonna be Grant Gustin. All right, this is me as Grant Gustin. I love being on The Flash. I'm so excited for this season.
Doug, can you be The Rock?
Something. Hierarchy's gonna change forever.
There we go. But yeah,
I'll be Robert Pattinson and be really sleepy.
Yeah,
I gotta raise my eyebrow.
Oh my god,
he did it like so many times. But but going off of like what we were talking about before we started, and I had the contention that the ending shot one of the ending shots that we see, like the final confrontation between the Riddler, might be that shot. It's Troy's favorite shot of Batman just wailing on this dude, and it seems to be Riddler or someone who's
someone in the
Riddler.
Riddler costume.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Selena is fucking terrified because she's into Bruce the whole entire trailer, it seems like, and she's like, ha ha ha, like, and then she looks like, no, this dude's like, and he's just wailing and he's going, like, I think even worse, like, no one's talking about it, but I think it's worse than the train station guy.
No, yeah, it's
like
far,
he's winding really up.
Yeah,
like, I think there's gonna be blood. There's gonna be blood.
I think that head is gonna be, depending on the rating of this movie, I think this head's gonna be caved in.
Yeah, like
if he's dead,
like his gloves have metal on them. Like it's your face, your nose. It just can't work.
Yeah, but you think that's the final shot?
I think not the final confrontation. Let's call it that. And so if you do that, and we're talking about the point of like Bruce going too far and it being about this is not good and not glorifying it. I don't think you can end on that triumphant note. You can't have that epic Michael Giacchino score where it's like and it's like everyone's like and like, but he just like caves someone's head in.
Yeah, I think my prediction is I think that shot that I liked of him beating the shit out of Riddler, I think that is the end of Act 2. And so we get a whole potentially hour-long segment of him being like, fuck. The classic Batman line.
I hope that they haven't even shown Act 3. I hope that
I don't think so. I think he gets a new suit in Act 3.
Part.
I think he gets a whole new suit. I think my guess is Act 1 is Batman regular life, and then Riddler shit shows up. Act 2 is figuring out who Riddler is, finding Riddler, maybe killing who they think is Riddler, and it turns out to be wrong. Act 3 is proper being not piece of shit Batman, you know?
I don't think that. I just don't think that Matt Reeves will have him kill somebody, even if it's by accident.
Maybe he won't kill him. Maybe he won't. Yeah.
I don't think that he could do it. Yeah.
Even with the source material that he's pulling from, like Ego, a criminal dies, but like even then, it's like I think a few degrees removed from Batman.
There's also
he still feels responsible.
Also,
which I think is important.
Matt Reeves has to be looking at the discourse revolving BVS, where BVS, like the main discourse around BVS, is Batman shouldn't be fucking killing people, you know. And granted, there's more nuance to it, you know. There's more to it, but it's like I feel like Matt Reeves will be like, I'm just not gonna have him kill somebody, even if I make a point of it, you know.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna come really close.
Because why would you do it? Why would you do it?
Yeah.
Like you are putting yourself in the line of fire.
Like I bet you he even likes BVS. Realistically, I bet you he sees the point of it. So Snyder fans don't have to mansplain it to him all the time. But like, it's a strange thing. I don't know. It's strange.
I bring that up because I've had that internal dialogue with myself ever since ever since I watched High Top's video, and then I thought about it myself. I'm like, okay, yeah, so this doesn't make any sense. But then the more you think about it, the more you're like, okay, there is some nuance to the idea of an act like this can happen. Yeah. But it's about how Batman reflects on it and how he either changes his ways or does something with his own personality to do that. And if this whole movie is built around like, okay, Batman is a certain way, and by the end of the movie he's going to change, I think it's a possibility, even if it's a less. Yeah,
I'm just thinking like in the terms of the character, somebody dying is going to be him crossing that line. That is the moment that is going to be the biggest shock to him, But I think you're absolutely right, Brian. If he does kill somebody in that horrific fashion, it is really hard to come back from that from an audience empathy level.
Especially for a trilogy of movies.
Yeah,
like it's just like I don't. Maybe you can. I don't even think in that movie. I think that you need to come because really we are desensitized to the idea of killing people in movies. It sounds really weird to say, but it's 100% true. Yeah, 100%. Because we're removed. Yeah, it's fiction. It's whatever. But if you really thought about it, if someone killed somebody, you're not
I'm not hanging out with them. Sorry,
you're not hanging
Brian,
out.
If you killed any random person, I don't think we could hang out anymore. Maybe
have
sometimes
on
the weekends.
Versus O.J. Simpson. Have you watched that?
But they're rich. They're not human beings. They're above a certain percentage.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? Is that you're not gonna be like the horns are not gonna come on, and you're gonna be like, oh, especially for Batman. You're gonna be
not to say this is a movie for kids, but it's still a superhero movie. You still have to be relatively accessible.
They sold Legos, shitty Legos.
He's gonna be on a lunchbox.
The Dark Knight is the Dark Knight's the mature Batman thing. I still saw it as a kid. It was scary. I was fucking scared as shit as Two-Face.
Dude, I had an anxiety attack. I saw it 4 times in theaters.
It was a lot. I
had an theater
the fucking cell phone scene is horrific.
The phone scene gave me an anxiety attack. I didn't realize it at the time, but I couldn't breathe.
Yeah, it's horrible. Sorry, not in a good way. It's horrific.
Yeah,
but as a kid, you're still Batman. Fuck yeah. You're still gonna go fucking see it.
It's so cool that his fucking stomach exploded.
Yeah, I don't know how many kids know that Greg Fraser shot this movie and they're looking for what the skyline looks like.
I think that's Greg the thing the discourse has to be mindful of still. Yeah. As dark as the Batman stuff can get, it's still a fucking Batman movie, You can really push it, but it's still a Batman movie. You still have to make it not for kids, but you have to make it accessible. Yeah. In the way that is maybe you shouldn't, or I don't know, fucking they already did it with Snyder. Maybe you shouldn't show Batman brutally murdering a human being and then having us empathize with him.
Yeah, but he's not killing Batman's those people. He's killing by proxy.
Yeah, I didn't kill them. The Bloodlust did. It wasn't me. It was the explosion from the missile that I shot out of my car. Yeah. Can I say I'm really fucking glad this Batmobile doesn't have guns. It's the best thing ever. I love this Batmobile so much. I fucking adore this Batmobile.
That car looks so cool in that shot.
And
it just makes me so sad about the Lego set because they could have made that car look so cool. It
looks like the animated series.
It's a fucking car, and I love it. It looks like the animated series. He's not fucking. It's not a tank. It's not a fucking.
It is high suspension too. Those tires are thick. It's like you fucking drop the tires in Fortnite onto a car. That's what it looks like. It's not.
And it's actually kind of interesting because it's he's using this thing that is a relatively defensive machine. It is a strong car that can take a hit, and and he's using it offensively. He's using it to trample, not trample people, but to cause car crashes,
to run people over.
Hey, that's Arkham Knight. That's different.
Yeah, that's Arkham Knight. Hey, no, he shocks them in that one.
No, he's so
right. That's right.
But it's an interesting idea to he takes a fully defensive mechanism and in his current state as brutal Frank Miller Batman, for lack of a better term, he turns it into I'm gonna fucking use it as a weapon.
Yeah, he fucking battering rams the Penguin's car.
Yeah.
Which I think
that cool.
Yeah, Jesus. I think because the Lego set has a rocket launcher. I think that the
Legos-
rocket launcher is there.
I don't think Legos always do that. Legos put they put fucking
What
Nerf
did
put
The
Nerf
tumbler
put
had the thing in the back, right? To fucking, but it wasn't even.
yeah,
there.
it didn't
was
have
like
like
a weird-
the like. There's a Nerf Mjolnir that shoots a dart.
No,
Mjolnir
but
doesn't
like
shoot bullets. That doesn't.
no,
happen.
but Colin, no, but the penguin in that set has a rocket launcher, and I think
Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
and
I thought you were saying.
I think that's no.
I thought you were saying that there was in the Batmobile. Okay.
No, I think that someone in the car or somehow he does it. I have no idea. I think that he does.
It'd be cool if it had a grapple gun. I'll say if the car had like some kind of a grapple gun.
Yeah, and he used it to drag a car behind him, and then he threw that car onto another car.
Yeah, okay.
Or he could do the.
And then
what was that
him.
MythBusters episode where they're like, "Can you do a sharp turn using a grappling hook on a street pole?"
Yeah.
But no, I mean, fucking Penguin is like, oh yeah, I got him, so yeah, he
Dude,
probably
he's
shot him.
so
with the...
good in that scene.
I don't believe it's Colin Farrell. It's a lie. It's not.
Yeah.
It's Andrew Cuomo.
It's
It's
Richard-
Governor Cuomo. It has to be.
No. It's former New York governor as the New York person in this call.
Sorry, yep.
It is former New York governor Andrew Cuomo and his other scumbag brother Chris Cuomo. That skunk.
Yep.
And they did the Dragon Ball fusion, and then they turned into the penguin in this
That's why
movie.
he's
Matt
got,
Reeves
like,
is
the
a
weird-
genius.
That's why he's got the weird
He's a
scarring.
bad person for putting that on his set.
That's
a
where they
bad
merged
person
together.
for putting that on his
Yeah, they
set.
should have put that was pretty fucked up, Matt Reeves. Hey, come on.
But like,
But
hey,
get a good
listen,
performance.
it looks great.
Yeah. He is Italian though, right? Penguin.
He's
Coming
like
back to this.
that
I don't know.
motherfucker
he's
is
two
like
steps away from being you got bunch of
like literally he's like hey sweetheart, hey, what are you doing there, huh? Like it's so fun and I love it. I think it's so funny.
In that scene, what I think is interesting is to kind of bring it back to the suit. Is because there's so much discourse about what the gauntlets are, and in the trailer, so because we didn't really talk about the train station scene that much. We talked about it more in the past.
That's right.
tense
There's
of
the
what we saw.
electric thing.
Yeah, but he puts the guy up and he just goes like that. It's like a taser and like to his neck, and he's like looking him dead in the eye.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy as hell. That's like he's enjoying it.
Yeah.
And it's weird. Like that's not heroic.
This is like, you guys remember when I remember hearing about like a real life Batman that was like this guy that would like
I did
get
hear
like
it's like the
military
black and
gear.
yellow. Yeah.
I don't fucking no. Well, that's Phoenix Jones. That's a different thing. But there was a guy that would like dress up as Batman and he would like just go beat the shit. He was crazy. It was not a superhero thing. Like even Phoenix Jones actually turned out to be a piece of shit. Fun fact, who like dealt drugs and shit. But like
that's why I was like, wait, is it Phoenix
no,
Jones?
not Phoenix Jones. But like there was a guy that was like almost like borderline serial killer type thing. And I think that's what they're doing with this Batman. He's a serial harasser, not the right word. He is a serial beating up people. Where it's
if
like,
he had
oh,
no
fuck.
heroic horens behind him, everyone would be like, uh oh.
Yeah, if he didn't have a cool costume and a fucking logo made out of the gun that killed his parents, nobody would relate. No, everybody would be like, this is the villain. At least at the start of this movie, you know.
Yeah, but going back to that scene though, but I think that the gauntlet has multiple functions because when the Penguin's doing his like best Sopranos impression, he's like, "Hey, yo, sweetheart, like, aren't you like you're cute? Whatever. Hey, gabagool. Hey, take it easy, guy." Like something comes out of his gauntlet and it looks like it looks like a stick to beat him.
Maybe I've
Like,
noticed
it's like
something interesting.
and it-
like
No, it's
weird.
a toothbrush. It's a toothbrush, and he's like, Penguin.
like,
you
your
stink
breath,
like
your
shit."
breath stinks. I noticed
Governor
something interesting
Cuomo.
with how Bruce is, or how Batman is. I guess Bruce and Batman are the same person. But how Bruce is like, I know comparing to like the first trailer in like the combat scenes, he always does the specific position with his fists. That are like, and maybe it's just a punching move and shit like that, man. But like, there is it feels like
move.
or like maybe it's just a combat like a martial arts shit. But like it is interesting how it's the same pose in the Penguin thing and in I think it's when Catwoman is fighting him in the first trailer.
Yeah.
It's like an emphasis, and it feels like an emphasis on the
It's
gauntlets.
because
where
they
maybe
CG out a gun.
Yeah,
they
there we
CG'd out
go.
a gun from his hands. That's what it is.
Yeah. What if the gauntlet?
Governor Cuomo, your time is up.
Is there that much stuff on his belt? Does his belt look like practical?
It looks like pouches. That's
no,
it.
Because
Really.
what if they're in the shot that Doug has? I think that you could see like a very protruding pouch from his leg. Yeah, there it is, right there.
Yeah.
Maybe they are going with like maybe his gauntlets are effectively the combat part of his utility belt.
You know how in the Tim Burton thing, it had like that really weird shot of like the grapple hook like moving to like the front, like because there's like it's assumed that there's a motor in the back of his belt, which is like so weird.
That's why he's got
because they built that. They built like an actual thing to do that.
Yeah,
too,
it's like very chunky.
Around.
But like, what if it's like kind of almost like what's it called? Oh God, Idris Elba's character in the Suicide Squad. I can't remember. Bloodsport.
Bloodsport.
Yeah. What if it's like Bloodsport, where like he's just like constantly switching things out for his gauntlet?
It might be a little bit out. That might be a little bit more techie for what this thing is going for, but we don't know.
But it's like,
yeah, I don't know.
No, but the idea of like switching out shit, like just strapping stuff.
Yeah, it could be interesting.
Yeah. Like he's just trying shit out because he seems like he's a little bit of a tinkerer. Yeah, that workshop is like it's the Kevin Smith run where he pisses himself.
No!
Oh God.
See, Brian, in that shot, that's your background. He's having a bladder spasm.
Oh God, I have to pee right now. This is not helping me.
This is his built-up piss they're walking through. He's like, sorry about this. There's no bathroom down here.
On that note, I am gonna go pee, so continue speaking though. But I'll be right back.
He's just been Howard Hughesing it the whole time. That abandoned subway.
I love that shot of Rob. It's so awesome.
So it's like no, but he is still saving them. But it's like they're like, what are we walking through? He's like, don't talk about it. He just keeps walking along.
You don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. It's my Alfred. He hasn't fixed the plumbing.
What's gonna with this whole shebang about this movie? It's 2 hours and 30 minutes, right?
Yeah,
it's nearly 3 hours. Yeah,
it's a very long movie.
Okay.
Which I'm kind of down for. It's like the only time I'll say I'm down for it, just because I want to see this movie, and I don't want to
know until you experience the pacing, right?
Yeah,
because if it's a drag, then obviously but if it paces itself well and it has peaks and valleys where it's like some detective work, big action set piece, kind of like a reflective scene, I think it'll work. I think it'll work just fine.
And yeah, I think with the scenes that they showed, I mean, I'm assuming they didn't reveal too much. I feel like they revealed a lot though. Like they showed a good amount of scenes that we've never seen before. Like I'm trying to match up shots from the previous trailer with shots in this trailer, and it's hard. I can't really think of a lot of things that come to mind other than like a couple things with Catwoman, Batman, and a couple things with the Penguin. You can't. It's hard to match it up. So they definitely showed a lot of just straight up new material. And I don't know how I feel about that. Like I hope they don't over promote this. Like this is the main trailer. They'll probably do like a smaller second trailer. I think that's all we need,
Yeah.
And then just make a couple TV spots.
I don't think if I can avoid it, I don't think I'm gonna watch the next one.
Well,
I think
they might have
good.
a final. Sorry, I might have missed this whole conversation, but
because we didn't get the grapple.
They might
Did
have
you
a
see the
final
grapple
trailer.
gun thing that Matt Reeves posted? He posted that one shot of Batman looking up. And he hold the grapple gun like to the sky. That was not in this trailer or any other promo material.
No, I think he was just working on the movie.
Yeah,
maybe he was just working on the movie. Yeah, but I mean that's why he had all those Kleenexes.
Well, I'm like looking through these that link that I sent that has all the screenshots and excuse me. There's just so much that we haven't even talked about. Like
let's go through some of that to
it's kind of crazy. Like there's like this whole club scene, which I'm gonna assume is tied with that the Governor Cuomo fight.
Which I believe is also going to be tied to the chase scene. I feel like it's going to go nightclub, Governor Cuomo escapes as he does, and then chase scene, and then beating the shit out of Penguin.
Governor Cuomo's car gets flipped.
Actually,
but we have to say it accurately. Former Governor Cuomo.
Former Governor Cuomo.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, former Governor Cuomo. Yeah.
But when we
disgraced former Governor Cuomo.
Yes, disgraced piece of shit, former Governor Cuomo.
When we first see Penguin, he's like all fucking scarred and shit. Is he scarred and shit during the disgraced former Governor Andrew Cuomo scene?
Yes, he is.
He is? Oh, fuck. Okay, because I was going to say, it'd be kind of fucking rad.
What if Batman...
What if Batman gave him the scars in that fucking crash, and then scene where he's looking out the window is like later. That'd be really, I don't know. That could be interesting to kind of push the whole anti-violence thing.
I think that here's another thing. Well, also I think that the with the red lighting and Batman fighting somebody and it looks like a club and it might be tied to the disgraced former.
Those siren lights look beautiful.
What is this?
Beautiful.
I'm sorry,
but I think that's
the Batman Twitter account tagged me in a thing thanking me for liking.
Oh,
is that they do that for everybody?
They do that.
Oh, I thought I was special. I was so excited.
No.
Oh no,
because they do the at Troy Oboyo 17. But but Selena is walking with the wig in that shot too, so it could be tied to him chasing her.
Oh,
and
interesting.
He could be chasing Penguin off the dock scene because he's also
there's a dock
there's
scene
that
too.
shot because he's like standing in the rain and does the pan from the side in the other trailer, so it could be that because it's also raining really heavily, so it kind of matches. But
I think we don't have enough information to like fully splice all the things together because who knows, or maybe there's another fucking scene with Penguin, but we don't. Exactly. I don't think Penguin's in this very much.
7
I believe
minutes.
they've said.
I feel like Penguin's in this less than Catwoman.
What if the club is at a dock? That could be a way to do it.
Yeah, that could be interesting. Yeah. It's like outside, and that's when they're shooting people. Yeah, that could be. But like, here's the thing.
I feel like Selena is
Selena.
I'm gonna do it every time. But I feel like she is doing undercover shit, doing her own thing while Batman is going after Penguin, and it's a simultaneous thing because the lights flashing looks similar, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It would be interesting if Selena was undercover, would she be undercover for the cops?
No, I would hope not.
No,
that'd be weird.
I really don't.
Not just
supposed to be really corrupt.
Not just my ACAB vibe, but like that's just so.
Doesn't matter what interpretation it is. Catwoman ain't no snitch.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, really. Okay. It's
Catwoman isn't a pig. She's a cat.
Matt Reeves would have misstepped so hard.
That'd be weird.
Yeah.
I do think they're pulling from Year One. It looks like with like some of her backstory, which I hope they don't do exactly like really Year One. I don't love that.
Yeah, I don't love the. Yeah.
I think they're gonna pull a little bit from like she's living in the nightlife on the side of, you know.
I think that they're actually gonna pull more from the Long Halloween for her on that.
She's kind of like an up and coming social
like a mix between the both. Like
Long Halloween, for anyone who doesn't know, Long Halloween written by a piece of shit Jeff Loeb.
By disgraced piece of shit.
Oh, is he really disgraced because they keep giving fucking books?
And they made 2 animated movies.
Yeah.
Yep. He's disgraced in my eyes.
Yeah, that's all that really matters. In the eyes of the people that matter. There's that shot where, God, you're gonna have to look in that Twitter thread, but it's very clearly Paul Dano or someone who's maybe pretending to be Paul Dano, and they're in prison. So, and it's like he slams the wall.
He slams the door.
That's interesting. I'm kind of wondering what's happening there.
What if that's like a because I think it's pretty fair to assume that assuming Paul Dano is Riddler, which I think we can assume Paul Dano is Riddler for now until there's a crazy twist or whatever. Yeah. We've been saying that like it seems like he wants to get caught at the beginning, you know, where he's like in the diner and like draws the perfect question mark. Nobody's talking about that. That's really good.
Well, maybe he was a barista before he started killing people.
Look into that. Yeah. Also, but it's cut out of the foam. It's not the foam is the question mark. So I think here's my theory, the Batman theory. I think he used his fingies to do that. He dipped his fingers in his coffee to make this perfect question mark.
Ew. That's
it's not like
disgusting.
He's gonna drink it.
Yeah, he's not gonna drink it. Yeah.
But I think he wants to get caught. He's pulling a Joker or a fucking Skyfall. And I wonder if him pounding the prison cell is him being like he tried to trick Batman. This is like a third act thing, and Batman he caught him. He like knew
what if it's like Hannibal Lecter, like he's like controlling it from inside the prison?
What if fucking Paul Dano isn't actually the serial killer Riddler type thing?
But he's the mastermind.
He's the guy. Oh my god, that'd be crazy.
Because I think that God, we're kind of running. All right, possible spoilers. Possible. I don't know. Because people have been talking about this for this movie. Because people have been talking about.
Oh, with like Lego sets or.
No. Like just through like it could just be
speculation.
Speculation
is not spoilers. No.
But I'm just saying. But like, I think that it's almost safe to assume that most of the time it's not actually Paul Dano, that it's actually his because he has followers that wear the same fucking jacket. And so
what if it's like a Zodiac killer type thing?
I think that it's a cult, almost kind of like, and maybe these people that he's leading out, maybe Paul Dano leaves them for fucking
chasing them?
Leaves them. No, maybe he's
he leaves them for dead. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and Batman's like you're like this is not who you should be. That could be interesting. I'm not in love with it.
I don't know if that really lines up with what they've been setting up Riddler to do. Like the way that I mean, it's possible. It very much is.
Because I don't know. Maybe they really have to double down on on making Riddler a piece of shit somehow.
Yeah.
But
But I don't love
the way that it feels like they're doing Riddler is he is just a guy that, not to be fucking like Joker society, but he is a guy that is a victim of the system and is trying to convince Bruce Wayne, who is a part of the system and has, because
all right, listen, we're all victims of the system. Come on, you pay taxes.
Yeah.
Come on.
Because I think it's fair to assume it's a fair assumption that he's figured out that Bruce Wayne is Batman. Like that has some interesting dynamicness. And he's trying to convince Bruce to make a change to the system through the use of murdering a bunch of people. As one does.
Haven't we all?
Yep.
I also think it's safe to assume
when you hate society and you see Zazie Beetz and she tells you to do things, you tend to listen.
But did you actually see Zazie Beetz or did you make it up?
You might have made it up.
Oh, you got me.
Imagine this movie is still like linked with that movie for some reason. I don't think it is. This looks nothing like it. Like
I really hope it does.
I think in pre-production it probably was, and then they were like, eh.
Yeah.
Because this movie was supposed to be young Ben Affleck, right?
Yeah.
They talked about it.
That's
it was going to be
way
in the 90s.
Back in the day,
It wasn't going to be this, but Matt Reeves was going to do it with Ben Affleck.
I think there's a lot of stuff that was like, oh, we're planning on doing this, so while you're making this movie, do this so it can tie into this, and then they decide to stop doing that.
It's like it's kind of like how the guy who wrote Spider-Man 4 for Toby ended up also writing TASM. Where it's like people just transition from different.
Yeah, or like because like I don't know, because like Joker, Joaquin Phoenix Joker leads very easily to a 90s Batman movie, just with the age of every character.
Yeah.
So if this movie was supposed to take place in the 90s with young Ben Affleck, that would make sense. But I think because it's a matter of like the problem with making 15 movies in the same fucking universe is when you make a change, not everything's gonna, I don't know.
What are you saying? Are you saying that Joker takes place in the same universe as the Schumacher movies?
Yes.
It's a 90s Batman.
Honestly, I would love that.
Yeah, it'd be kind of rad.
That would be rad.
It'd be cool. I think it's safe to assume that we'd kind of spoken about many times before this that we thought that Bruce Wayne and many people think this as well, that Bruce Wayne is not established. Shut the fuck up.
Just sneeze.
Just your reaction. I'm sorry. Shut the fuck up. Sorry. Continue.
That fuck. That Bruce Wayne is like not established. That maybe he hasn't like come back out as Bruce Wayne. If he had gone traveling and stuff like that, and he's just operating as Batman. And kind of like a lot of people tend to have that belief, but I was kind of in that party as well, and that he comes out during the middle of the movie to draw Riddler to kill him.
Interesting.
And that's been a lot of theories for people. I think it's almost pretty safe to assume that he's already out there, because it looks
how
like
else would Riddler know his identity that's a fair assumption just for drama reasons.
Because like Rob's above ground in your picture, Troy. Yeah, and obviously, and he's got sunglasses and he's doing this thing.
That's Tommy Wiseau.
It's Tommy Wiseau.
I actually do think this scene. I think he's undercover. I think he's pulling a Miles or Matches Malone type thing.
Dude, I would fucking lose my shit if he did Matches Malone.
If they call him by name Matches Malone, I would fucking shit. That'd be the coolest thing in the world.
I will shit myself in that theater.
And start singing,
and then guess
dancing.
what? That would be good because then people would leave and they wouldn't be around you. You'd be social distance in the theater. Perfect situation. That's what you got to do. Shit your pants in the theater.
One shot of him with an obnoxiously fake mustache
and a toothpick.
Yes.
Yep.
To get the
Exactly.
toothpick, you need the toothpick.
Oh, and then then you got to do the thing in the New 52 where he pulls the symbol off of his costume and then puts on a jacket.
Yeah, but like I think that, but like I also think that Bruce Wayne. I don't know if Wayne Manor's in this at all because it looks like I could see this guy living in like a Wayne
You didn't
Tower.
watch FanDome because I know in the dome in FanDome that there's a secret exit that takes me to Wayne Manor.
Yeah.
That's how the Riddler knows all this.
I wish people watch the Alfred
He's
show so we
based out
could
of the
tell if that's from
FanDome.
the Pennyworth show or if it's from if it's from the Batman.
Yeah. Let us know in the
I'm assuming
comments
it's
if
from
you watched
Pennyworth,
that
but-
show.
Anybody does.
Everyone's gonna be like, "No, what are you talking about?"
I just love
That's
I
not a real
love the
show.
canon that Wayne Manor is connected to the dome. To the FanDome. It's always
They
there.
just go down.
Could you imagine? Just like Bruce Wayne's
they just
having
have
like a
blood rays
gala.
there.
And there's
No,
a
Bruce Wayne's
gigantic dome that nobody
dome.
can go into.
Hey,
Yeah.
Bruce, what's that?
Don't go there.
That's my
What?
parents.
Don't go there.
My parents.
That's my parents' dome.
They built that with artist Jim Lee.
Oh, you mean the Jim Lee that went on a racist tirade?
And it just cuts to Jim Lee talking to guests at a party, but it's all bleeped out dialogue.
Oh no. Oh.
And the
But
guests
yeah,
look like, and Jeff Loeb's like, he's just nodding his head.
Guys, I think we know who Riddler's after in this movie.
Jeff Loeb. Riddler's Jeff Loeb.
Jeff Loeb. It'd be kind of funny if Walter Hamada shows up and he's like,
God.
I caught you. And then the Riddler just shoots him or something. I don't know.
I'm looking through my
I don't
notes
know.
right now.
Yeah,
we haven't mentioned
me look
Alfred.
through your
Have we
notes.
mentioned Alfred?
We haven't mentioned
Oh,
any of
we've
this.
not
Is this the
mentioned
first?
really.
Is this the first time we? Is this the first time we've seen Alfred?
Is this
Andy
the first
Serkis?
time we?
No.
Yeah,
I
This is
don't
the
think
he
so.
looks.
Director
Yes,
of
it
Venom
is.
2, Alfred.
I was just about to say, yeah. Was he in the first trailer?
No, he was not. He was
No,
just
he was
he was just a voiceover.
This
Okay.
is the first look
Oh.
we've gotten at Alfred.
It
It's
looks cool.
exactly what you thought it would
Yeah,
be.
but it looks cool. I'm,
Yeah.
cool. I'm satisfied.
Yeah, like, I'm cool.
Does he have a
Like-
scar, or is that just Andy Serkis?
I think that's just Andy.
No,
Serkis.
I
Yeah,
think
that's valid.
it's
That's okay.
Serkis.
Nothing wrong
He
with
does
that.
have a
I think he
goatee,
had this.
though.
He's pulling the green.
probably
What if
was
surprise Alfred is actually old Oliver Queen?
That no, thank you. Please, no, thank you.
I would actually. I'm okay. I jokingly posted this on Twitter, but I'm actually okay with this. If they came out with a movie called The Green Arrow, I would lose my fucking marbles. That'd be the best thing in the world.
That'd be kind of
It'd
fun.
be pretty awesome.
What about a
I
movie
think-
called A Green Arrow?
It has to be the one. There's only
What if they
one.
called it The Arrow? What if they called it
Oh,
The
I
Arrow?
would-
The Green Arrow, Troy. Wow, are you excited
Oh.
about a movie, The Green Arrow?
Listen, listen. Your boss doesn't know who the fuck Green Arrow is.
No, they don't care about Green Arrow so much.
Boss
that
is
they're
gonna
just
see
gonna
this and
call
be
it
like,
Escape
hey.
from Supermax.
I just want to
and that's
say there were only 2 instances of Green Arrow in this entire 4-hour fandom, and it was just B-roll of old comics and an
Yeah.
injustice. It's
They
awful.
don't know who Green Arrow is. It's just default.
And then Black Canary was even
other
worse.
Hawkeye.
And she has a
That's what
movie
it is.
coming out.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Where
They
did-
didn't say anything about that.
They have not gotten far enough. I kind of
But
don't.
like I
blame them.
expected,
Yeah.
well,
They
I
could have
expected
said
something like
something,
I
but
expected
I
something like the
don't-
Blue Beetle thing, where they like
Yeah.
just got oh fuck, what's her name? Misha Green.
Yeah.
Yeah, Misha Green.
Yeah.
Get her to just talk about it. Get Journey on the podcast. Hey everybody, let's get Journey on Fanboy Talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be
Didn't
sick.
they start working on the Black Canary movie and Batgirl at the same time though, or was it
Black Canary
was there a big
afterwards.
Oh,
difference?
is
Like,
wait, is
but-
I thought it was around the same time, which is why I was surprised that
No,
they
Batgirl's
already,
been in-
like
Batgirl's been in
Batman,
development for a
yeah.
while, and so the script was already kind of there. What they're doing
Yeah.
is they're reworking it. It's kind of like the TASM situation, Spider-Man 4 TASM
Yeah.
thing. So they're reworking it, and that's been off the ground for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of had an idea what they were gonna do. And with Black Canary, I can only imagine that this was like talks for a couple months, and it was announced
Yeah.
like a month or 2 ago.
yeah, that's true.
So
Yeah.
they
Yeah, I mean,
can't
they
really
shouldn't
get
have anything
too
for
far.
Fanboy. But
Oh,
even
no,
something
who
like the
knows?
Green Lantern HBO show, that's been in talks for.
Wait, did that
They-
get?
They didn't talk about it. It just.
No.
What?
I think it might have gotten silently canceled.
which they No, but they cast
They
the dude for
casted
Guy
people.
Gardner.
yeah, but only Guy Gardner.
Yeah,
That's like fucking The Rock is Black Adam. You know,
yeah.
it's like okay, maybe
yeah.
it'll come out in 20 fucking years.
Yeah.
Wait, how the fuck did they not talk
That's so
about it?
weird. It's so funny.
That's
They,
Yeah.
really weird.
But they talked about Bat Wheels.
They did talk about
Batwheels.
the
Batwheels looks cute. Batwheels looks it's cute for children.
Here's
it's okay.
I am pissed off about Batwheels. You know why I'm pissed
Why?
off about Batwheels?
Because The
I'm
Rock is
pissed
in
off
the
about this
Batmobile?
cartoon. No, it's because there was like a leaked thing that came out for Batwheels, and it was like an animation test of Batman car versus Joker car, and it was actually really cool. And it was like just like a quick like 10 seconds, and it looked really awesome. But it was like hazy and like some blue, some fucking watermark over it.
I love
They didn't
that.
show that. They didn't show that here at FanDome. They showed like some pictures, and then the car
They showed a half-second tease of the animation, and I had no idea what the show was going to look like. I have no fucking clue.
It's stupid. They needed to show more from that show.
But basically,
I
what
like
you're saying
the
is
distinction
Batwheels
of Batman car and Joker car.
Batman car and Joker car. I'm not gonna even call them the mobiles. I'm just the Batman car and Joker car.
But what you're saying is Batwheels is in the same universe as the Batman, right?
Yeah, no, that's
It'd
what he's
have to be,
like.
right?
He drives, and then you know where he gets out of the flames. He's like, "Yeah, baby!" And then
What
he
if
just gets
what
on
if the Batmobile is like the Inspector Gadget car? Just, there's a big face on it, just talking.
No. Either so. There's this movie called Iron Man, right? And in that movie, there's this robot called Jarvis, and so now the Bat car is gonna be Jarvis.
They would.
I'm calling it the Bat car.
I'm glad that they never Iron Manified Batman.
Yeah,
That makes me
I
very
think
sad.
we're probably going to.
We were getting there.
The fact
we were
that
very close.
If the Dark Knight didn't come out, they probably would have.
Yeah, they would have Iron Manified of him in the like.
well, they kind of
Justice
they
League
were
Mortal
kind
thing.
of doing that in Justice League. Yeah,
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of it being in this like that's just the phrase universe. I'm not looking forward to all of the fucking YouTube channels that try and place the Batman into a universe or whatever. Like trying to talk about it in the sense of a cinematic universe. People are already doing it now.
cares?
Of like,
All right,
is this Catwoman thing gonna be in the universe or is this good? It's like fucking I don't care. Just make it.
I just want to watch a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to
should I
watch
cancel
fucking
my
Tommy
videos
Wiseau
about
be
this?
cool as hell.
I don't want to do homework
No makeup.
for a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do that on YouTube for free.
I watch a movie, not a TV show.
Marvel. I'll do it with Marvel till the day Marvel does some actual dumb bullshit, which they are, but I don't care. But for DC, I'm like, I don't want to just make a thing.
Yeah.
I will watch it if you make it sincerely.
just get a project off the fucking ground, guys.
Yeah.
And I'm cool with that.
Jesus Christ.
I'm cool with waiting like a little bit longer to get something that is more standalone. That's not an issue to me. Like Blue Beetle, looks really fucking cool.
Yeah, Blue Beetle
Which
looks
Batman. The reason I'm glad that this is happening now, above everything, it is standardizing Batman as a high class cinema thing. That sounds really
No, it is.
pretentious,
It feels like fucking
but
a David Fincher movie. You know?
It feels like Seven.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that if these movies are successful, the next people who come along, those movies will probably also be successful, and it will keep Batman movies at this standard level. But even Mission Impossible kind of has done that. But then I don't know how many people go into a Mission Impossible movies thinking like, oh, about all these technical things. They're just like, okay, fun action movie.
Yeah, I think the benefit of Mission Impossible is also that like relatively most movies are pretty standalone.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
you could hop into Ghost Protocol or Rogue Nation or Fallout like with having no knowledge of things.
I
Obviously,
watched all the movies backwards.
Yeah,
You know,
you'd be confused. You'd be like, "Who the fuck is Tom Cruise, Ethan Hunt, and who is this character that is a big deal?" But it's
why
like,
is he so good at running?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, did he break his leg there? Well, that's crazy.
Ooh.
Yeah. But
It's kind of weird how he proceeded to run faster.
Yeah, why is he outrunning a sandstorm right now?
yeah.
While Darude
But-
Sandstorm is playing.
Oh, I need to edit that now. But yeah, no, I think with this, I mean, this trailer, I saw some people saying the trailer was meh, and I was like,
fuck?
Who the fuck?
Who the fuck?
I was like, huh?
What
That's
kind of
ridiculous?
governor,
talking to?
disgraced former
I'm sorry,
governor Cuomo shit is that?
I believe in subjectivity in art, but like,
I don't,
what the
Ryan,
fuck?
I don't want you to ever end this governor bit, please.
No,
It's so good. Fuck him.
I
he's a
will
bitch.
talk about
Yeah.
I will talk about this till the day I die. I've been saying this for months. I will talk about this till the day I die. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Andrew Cuomo. Fuck you,
Both of them.
asshole.
Yeah.
Fuck both of
Both
them.
of
I don't
them.
care.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
There
we
you
got
go.
any more
That's
thoughts on the
title
trailer?
of podcast.
Fuck the Cuomos.
The Batman versus Andrew Cuomo.
But yeah.
Any more thoughts on Batman trailer? Or do we want to
any
get to?
other-
My last parting thought is I'm gonna have to bump it down to a 9 out of 10 because I have seen 0 references to Jimmy Olsen,
So
and
true.
I cannot accept that.
I haven't seen a reference to Kite Man, so it's like, what's the point?
I know.
Andy Serkis
what about
is
the
in this, so where's
wingsuit?
Venom?
What about the wingsuit?
What if that is
Troy?
Kite Man? That'd be so fucking funny. Like surprise, it's
And
just
he crashes into a building. Kite Man, no.
like, hell
Pete Davidson for Kite Man. Calling that now.
I
wanna
cannot
see
wait
how
for Matt
people-
Reeves' Kite Man.
You know what's funny about this too? I feel like people have been taking these movies seriously because there's not that much parody of them. Of these trailers at least. I mean, I guess they're only trailers, but even still, I'm not seeing SNL go crazy over them, and I'm not seeing a lot of people go insane over them. Maybe that's also not a great thing because parody invites more popular.
Well,
it
it's
makes
also.
it more popular,
I mean, there's
but-
so
If
it's
SNL
trailers in the middle of a pandemic. Like it's you
Yeah,
wait till the movie.
there's-
Normally, people wait till the movie comes out for parodies. Unless if it's like
Yeah,
you're a
that's true.
specific trailer parody channel. Or
Like
something.
I don't know.
Avengers, they do
Maybe
parodies, yeah.
maybe they're worried about copyright strikes.
Oh, I know
I
a
mean,
good deal of copyright strikes. They could ask me.
yeah.
If SNL touches this movie,
So
so help me God,
Okay, but
I'm
what
going
if-
down.
Pete
I'm
Davidson
going
is
down
whatever.
there.
Okay, I see.
Davidson.
This.
I'm gonna
I hear
do
this.
it.
What if I raise you Pete Davidson as the Batman?
Okay, I'll accept that.
Troy, you completely blew past. I said Pete Davidson was going to be Kite Man.
Oh,
in
that's
Matt
even
Reeves'
better.
Batman.
Oh,
That's even better.
I think he's
that
going to be
works.
like DC's Kenny, where he just kind of comes in for a
I
role, his character
would
dies,
love
and then he
that.
moves on.
That's
to the
how.
next
That's how they
one.
got Olivia to watch all the movies.
What if they did Pete Davidson in like a Batman sketch where he's the Riddler and he's trying to fumble
Oh my
his way
God.
through trying to explain a riddle?
Okay, but I will. Speaking of SNL Batman sketches, they did one that is actually very similar to this movie. In that
Wait, what?
it was a sketch of the Wayne charity summit or whatever for disenfranchised youth and stuff. And it was a bunch of people, a bunch of lower income people being like, "Man, fuck Batman." They're like, "Oh, he beat the shit out of me. I fucking hate that
I
guy."
think I might have seen this a long
And Bruce
time ago.
and Bruce is like, "Oh no, actually, Batman does so much for the community and stuff." And all these people are like, "No, fuck Batman. He broke my cousin's legs." And it's
know what I
actually
wanna-
it's they overdo the joke a little bit, but it is kind of a funny bit, and I think that's actually what this movie's gonna be. It's too similar.
Pete Holmes is friends with enough people in SNL that I wouldn't be surprised that his Batman has just not shown up.
He's not famous enough
there,
to be
that's
the
true,
big.
but, like-
it'd be fucking Jim Carrey's Batman or fucking Tom Hanks' Batman.
Yeah, that's no, but like
Tom
just to
Hanks
have
as
him do the
Batman as
parody
David
role,
Pumpkins.
You know? Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I don't know. I'm gonna rewatch this trailer nonstop,
Yeah.
like everyone is, and I'm
great.
gonna probably. Last year I made a video on it. I don't have a video to make on this, but I am
You
gonna
want to steal
rewatch
some?
this
You
and
can rip some of my notes off. Feel free to.
I'll rip some of your notes off and tape this pass. I'm gonna stop and just think about doing this pass now.
Dude, oh my God.
I'm excited. I mean, we didn't talk too much about Selena either, but I mean,
I don't
she
know
looks
what.
great in
There's,
this.
she looks amazing.
Yeah,
I
she
don't know
just
if
looks
there's
like
a ton
a-
to say.
Absolute
you know,
queen.
She looks
Just
great.
total like
She looks
girl
awesome.
boss
See,
like definition.
Actually, like
Just-
a legit,
Yeah.
but like actual girl boss, not like corporate
yeah, like a
girl
literal
boss.
yeah, like a literal.
I love
like,
the way
just
no one's talking about. I
badass.
love the way she moves. Like she like jitters in certain scenes.
Yeah.
Like
All right,
as
Mithi,
she's-
calm down. This is a family
Not
show.
like God fucking damn it.
No, she jitters
right
like she
here,
jitters like
okay?
Eddie Brock.
Yeah.
Constantly moving.
You are.
You are a
Bruce,
She's just
pariah.
contained. You are a pariah.
Pariah. Pariah.
But no, she looks really cool. I'm interested in what they do. I'm assuming she's going to be recurring because they talked about her a lot in the fandom thing. Like she was kind of
Yeah.
the main part of the like interview section.
I'm gonna.
It's
really have to
interesting
go
because
back
they
and watch
mentioned
that.
like the Roman is gonna be a part of this, and I know
Dude,
like
we haven't
again,
seen him like once.
We haven't seen him at all.
Wait,
We
is
just
it
see
like
the
pulling
behind the scenes and-
from
isn't
that awful
Black
guy's
Mask?
story, Long Halloween. No.
Oh.
No.
Oh, the
Roman-
Roman. Sorry, I
Yeah, John
Carmine
Turturro.
Falcone.
yeah.
John Turturro. And
Yeah.
everyone thought he was Al Pacino.
Because like the
That's right. Yeah, where the fuck is he?
yeah.
Yeah,
thing
he hasn't been
that's-
shown once, bro. I'm
Well, the
telling
reason
you,
why I
they're
think they're
Maybe because they don't want
downplaying
people to think Al
gone.
Pacino's in the movie.
The reason why I think they're downplaying him is because, again, to pull from that awful guy's story, it's kind of hinted, kind of sort of like slid under the radar that Selena may or may not be his daughter, and that could
Yeah.
be a
That could be
crucial
interesting.
plot
Maybe-
The
point.
movie is a little bit more on the nose with it.
Yeah,
Like,
the movie's
in
far
your
in
face with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that's what the show is gonna. I think the show that they're talking about doing with her could be like the When in Rome thing that
I
they
would
do.
love that.
That would be cool. Like, I
or
mean,
that
fuck
could be
that
like
guy,
that could be like a
that
trilogy
could be
arc with her.
cool.
Maybe this movie she's like trying to find him, or she's trying to like
she in those behind the scenes things. There's that behind the scenes. Can I talk about that one behind the scenes video they took of like the courthouse?
Yeah.
Of where it's like where it's like Bruce is like walking there. And then Penguin pushes him, and he's like, "Yeah, ooh," or something like that. And then,
hey, what were you going here?
Yeah, it happens like right in front of the courthouse as like people are watching, and then as they're walking down the steps, Catwoman walks down, like Selena walks down with John Turturro, like they're walking together down the stairs.
Yeah.
So it's
yeah,
like,
they're like arm in arm.
Maybe, yeah. So I'm like, well, maybe she is her daughter, and they just they just established that, but I don't know.
I don't know.
There's a lot of ways that could go. I don't know. I'm just there's so much to this movie that I feel like we're not even covering. That like
I think
like
there's
how
a lot
could
we
you?
don't
How
actually
could you?
know.
And that's fucking exciting.
Yeah. Like it's crazy. Like being involved in the discourse and trying to fucking monetize it constantly and trying to always talk about it. You lose a lot of excitement for a lot of things. Like fucking if like I don't know. I would have if another trailer came out. I don't think I'd be nearly as excited for it. Not just because this movie looks great, but because the way that they're doing it, just the way that they're marketing it. And I hope that transfers to the main audience. I think it will.
There's a gravitas to this.
Yeah,
that's very
this is going to take some time.
Yeah, this doesn't feel like a Nolan thing. And I'm sure there are going to be some people that are like, oh, another one. Oh, it should have been. Oh, I just remember Bale. I just remember Keaton. You know, whatever. But like, I think there's also a good amount of people that are like, oh, fuck, this looks good. This looks like a good movie. Whether or not depending on how the pandemic is by March, whether or not it's enough to push them into a theater at that time, we'll see. But like, I can guarantee eventually my dad is going to text me and be like, hey, did you see that Batman trailer? And my dad does not talk to me about superhero things ever, unless if it's my review of Aquaman where I have the air fryer in the background.
The fish sticks.
Hey, that's our air fryer.
Hey, that's ours.
But I mean, I talked about this when I did my video last year too. For the longest time in this discourse with all the Avengers movies, there's been this oversaturation, and that feeling of like youthfulness when it comes to a new announcement went away. And then with the Batman trailer last year, I said I felt that youth again. I felt like I was watching those Comic-Con videos that like Flicks in the City were posting.
Yeah.
Like, and I was just watching them the day after because I was following it so heavily. I had that feeling again when I was watching FanDome, and that's why I really appreciated FanDome.
It's the hype
year.
train, and I haven't
But
had the
then
hype
with
train
this-
since like 2016.
Yeah.
I cried.
Yeah. With this year, though, it was less about that feeling of youth again, but it was for me. I feel like I've grown since then to the point where I'm like, now I'm watching this, and yes, it's a Batman movie, and I'm really excited. It's a Batman movie, but I'm thinking about more than the fact that it's just a Batman movie. You know, I'm thinking about it in a way that's like, okay, what is the actual story here? What's the actual character development here? How are they shooting this? How are they the lighting here? And I'm looking at it through more than the lens of, oh my god, I love Batman.
Yeah, you've had the experience of a
and
filmmaker, and that's not tainting. Sorry,
And
that's affecting the way you're viewing
that's
this.
that's changing the way I view it.
It's
And
affecting
I
the way
really,
you view all media in general. And a lot of superhero things aren't holding up to that level of scrutiny, and this is, and that's what's so exciting about it. It seems like.
Yeah, and I appreciate this trailer more now than I did the other trailer back then, because back then that gave me that feeling of, okay, I was like a kid again watching this Batman thing.
Yeah.
And now it's like, okay, I can recognize things now, and I can see, oh, this is how something works, and this is how this other thing works. And I don't know that's what's making me rewatch this trailer over and over again, because I'm like, I want to understand.
You're actually like learning from just the trailer, which it seems
exactly.
Like. Yeah, that's crazy.
And that's. And I feel like if you want to know about lighting, this is a movie that has some lighting, you know. And I don't know. I'm not like a.
This will win. This will win best cinematography.
Yes.
Yeah. Will it be considered in the Oscars or some shit?
It's gonna be considered, but like I
think there was a chance it's not like Black Panther, where it's like Black Panther was nominated for a bunch of things that like it probably wouldn't win, but it was nominated to get the people going. Yeah. This actually does have a chance within its respective categories.
Yeah, because when The Dark Knight was coming out, when those trailers came out, yeah. When The Dark Knight came out, it was like, okay, there's a new Batman movie. And then the movie came out, and over the course of a few months, people were like, oh my god, this is good. Oh my god, this is good, right? But with this, it's like from now itself, everyone's going crazy.
Yeah.
And I think that's a testament to what this movie has the potential to be. It's not a fact about the movie, but there's the potential there for something even bigger, arguably.
Speaking of like the hype and stuff, and like I'm approaching it as not a filmmaker. I mean, like I make YouTube videos. I don't know shit about anamorphic lenses and fucking whatever. Like I have a very basic knowledge and shit. But like to me, it's a matter of like that first trailer. I got that hype because I was like, oh fuck, this is a great trailer. This looks like a good fucking movie. And then like after a whole year, you see that trailer so many times, you kind of wonder like, is it just the trailer is really fucking good? You know, there's a chance it's just a really good trailer. And then they come in with another trailer that's fucking better somehow, and achieves so much more, and still without like spoiling the fucking movie. It doesn't pull a BVS trailer number 2 or whatever.
Oh,
and
God,
like
fuck that trailer.
I know, fuck that trailer.
And fuck Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah,
Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel. Yeah. But it's like, and it's this hype of like, oh wait, no, this is a good movie. And it's the same hype of like, you see the Spider-Verse teaser. It's like, oh shit, a Miles movie that looks like that. That's cool. And then you see the Spider-Verse trailer 2, and it's like, oh shit, it's gonna be a good one also. Yeah. You know, it's this matter of like, 2 good trailers is a sight to see. You know. Yeah, that makes sense.
And we were having this conversation last
without
night. I remember
spoiling
for a long time.
Without spoiling it, and without like appealing to trailer tactics like the fucking Suicide Squad trailer and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And we were having this conversation like for a long time last night about how, like, because I remember we were staying up a while talking about what these movies, what superhero movies in general look like going forward for the next decade. And I feel
this will set a precedent.
It better.
Exactly.
I would hope so. And I hope it doesn't go the way of Logan, where everybody says it sets a precedent and then it doesn't.
Yeah, and then listen. Fuck.
Do it.
Okay.
Do it.
Right,
Say it.
Fine. Fuck it. It's no secret that between us, I've very vocally said that I don't really enjoy the MCU. Those are not movies for me, and you know, I get it. You know, like it just doesn't appeal to me. That's fine. You know, if you enjoy it, that's cool. I don't care. I really don't care at all. You could like it, sure, but I think it would have been really cool if they had just said, "All right, we're gonna take a break for a couple of years."
Yeah.
After Endgame, I would have, and
they
you know, it would have been cool because you would have just let it breathe. Let it be successful, and then I understand that from a money-making capitalistic sort of blah 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 blah, like you want to strike while the iron's hot because you don't know how long it's gonna be there or whatever the fuck.
But they're Disney. They could fucking
but
do
it's Disney. Yeah, they could do it. They rewrite the landscape, but they don't understand that. That's how fucking stupid they are.
And
but
it's go ahead. Yeah.
It's just one of those things where I wish that they had taken a break because there is a dangerous oversaturation. We were talking about this last night. I believe that this is going the way of the Western, and I think that we started it with the DCU, which I know is also going to get me shit. But it's because it's just so messy.
I think also TASM 2 is a reason for that too. The obsession with the connected universe and trying to make 100 movies a year, you know. But that's the precedent that Marvel started with the genre, you know.
Yeah, you know, and I think it just would have been cool if Marvel just said, all right, listen, we're just going to take a break. And then they worked on propelling the genre forward in a different way, in their own way again. And I think it would have been cool if DC hadn't made, and I like some of these movies to a degree, but if DC hadn't made a movie since Dark Knight Rises or something like that, and then they came out with this, like, holy shit. And Marvel had taken a break. They had sat their seat. Like, you know, they were like, all right, let's just ride this out. Let's figure our stuff out.
Yeah.
And then they'd come out with this. DC would be rolling in it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this would be the biggest movie. This would, I don't know if it would endgame it, but it would be big.
Yeah.
It would be big.
I think also like the comparison to the Western is an interesting concept because it's like the Western is it's a good comparison. The Western is not just a time period piece, but it's also a storytelling device. You know, it's a genre of movies. You can have Westerns that are not set in the Old West, you know, and it's like, I feel like they need to, but you can also have movies set in the Old West that are not Westerns. You could have a movie in fucking 1800s post-Confederate Civil War fucking Texas with cowboys and shit and make it a crime thriller. That is, it's just a time period. It's a you know,
setting.
It's a storytelling tool.
Yeah,
it is a storytelling tool.
It's a setting. Exactly. Yeah. And I think it's like, it's the same shit with comics. Oh, sorry, I'm gonna have myself. Superhero movies are in that same boat where it's like a superhero is not the genre. Sorry, it shouldn't be. You know, the superhero movie is just a fucking it's a backdrop to tell any story that you want. They are just traditionally quote unquote told through the lens of action. Everything is an action superhero movie, you know? And if more movies were like Logan, which is a Western superhero movie, you know, if more movies were like this, which is reportedly going to be a noir superhero movie with a superhero backdrop telling a traditional other genre of film, I think we wouldn't have this oversaturation. But instead, we get 50 fucking movies that are the exact same structure. Not even the Marvel formula that everybody talks about, but it's with DC, it's with Spider-Man, it's with every Fox, you know, fucking everything. Everything is an action story. You don't need to tell an action story. You could tell a fucking Spider-Man movie that is a rom-com, like Mithi wants to so bad, you know?
Yeah, I so badly want to.
Yeah, and it would still sell because it's the characters that sell, you know? It's the thrill of a superhero. It is not, I don't know, like, but the studios are convinced that the only way to do a superhero movie is through this action. Final act is a big battle with a CGI monster, and audiences are getting sick of it, which is, I think, why WandaVision was so successful this year, because it wasn't a fucking superhero show until the finale. I'm
seeing all sorts of like media pull from indie comics now. Like you have Sweet Tooth, you have I don't want to say Invincible because that still kind of
it's a subversion of it.
It's adjacent. Yeah.
But like, I mean,
well, you could say Invincible's a coming of age story.
Yeah.
Especially by the end of the comic, that is a coming of age story.
And there's there's Utopia, there's Why the Last Man.
Yeah.
And I think the reason why they went for these sort of niche things is because, I mean, I get that they're popular, but they also kind of go so far outside the superhero model. There's still like a comic book property, but you know, like one might be way more cerebral, one might be a lot more surreal in its like execution and everything. The reason why I love Legion as a show so much, which by the way, watch it.
I know. Don't throw
3
it in.
seasons.
I know.
It's the most visually inventive thing I've ever seen. And like I hear people use the phrase comic book brought to life, and like, I mean, that can mean just about anything, but I think Legion is one of the rare things that captures the spirit of that, because it is pure inventiveness. Like, there are all these crazy ideas that they put on screen, and they, you know, like they put all of this craft into it, and you can just feel it. Like you could look at that and you go, there's no way this wouldn't have come from a comic book, because, you know, it's full of like lofty, wacky sci-fi ideas.
Yeah, the comic books as a medium, like, they allow you to create a thing, and this is why, like, quote unquote comic accuracy is always kind of like when people ask for that all the time, or when people ask for like adaptations of a fucking comic, you know, like the comic medium, you have to tell certain stories in the medium of comics, you know, and it's why I like the Watchmen HBO show, because it knew we can't fucking tell Watchmen in a show. You can't. You can't tell Watchmen in a medium other than the comic. Even the motion comic doesn't do it justice. And like, I love motion comics. I'm a sucker for motion comics. But like, that show knew we have to do something separate, because the comic is such a specific way of telling a story. It is such a specific craft. And like, then you turn around and you get the Injustice movie that is fucking like, hey, here's the book and here's the moments from the comic, so we're comic accurate. And it doesn't,
what you're talking about.
It's just
which I still enjoy parts of that movie, but it's nailing what you're saying about, I feel like, a passion from a lot of these things with Legion probably, and with the Watchmen show. The passion needs to come from the story at hand, whereas a lot of, like, let's look at the Flash movie for a second. Yeah. Because I just want to rag about this.
Hell yeah.
Let's not.
Where the fuck is the passion?
Yeah, looking at it would imply watching it. I don't want to watch it.
I don't want to see that mask.
Where's the passion in the story there? It's like, oh, Batman.
It feels so corporate.
Thing. And it's not even about the corporate. It's about the artificial elements that are being placed into a story. In this Batman movie that's coming out, you can fucking add the Joker if you wanted to in the background. You know,
I'm sure DC
you can have Batman walking through a jail cell.
Please
the
don't.
Joker's at the side. But you can have him walking through the Penguin, and the Penguin makes a comment about how, you know, I used to know this guy Gabagoo called Mr. Freeze Gabagoo.
Gabagoo.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. and then I punched him in the face, and now his wife is dead. Gabagoo. You know, and you can have something like that, and then you can say, "Oh my God, Mr. Freeze in this movie." But like, that's not the point of the point of any kind of storytelling, to me at least, is at the core there needs to be some level of passion for the story, which is what you see from Matt Reeves now. Is because like we've had 10 years since we've had a Batman movie, and I'm gonna tell my dad, hey, a trailer came out for this movie, you should watch it. He's gonna watch it, and he's gonna be like, yeah, but they always make a Batman movie every single like 10 years, and I'm like, okay, fine, yes they do. You have an Indian accent, cool. But at the end of the day, this Batman movie is coming from a place of passion.
Yeah.
And you just don't notice what, like, I'm sure people were passionate about Marvel projects, and I'm sure people were behind the scenes passionate about Black Widow, but on a story level, the way these stories were executed, I don't know how much of that is there, you know, and you can feel that just as an audience member. Any audience member can feel that, and I think
it's a machine.
Yeah, it's like drag and drop set pieces.
God, fuck. Oh, I'm gonna get in so much trouble.
No, you'd be surprised.
We are all
you're gonna get
trouble.
You're gonna get more subscribers than you've ever gotten because of the shit you're saying right now. You're gonna do well. You're good. Do it. Go crazy.
So what my problem with Marvel is, like with the MCU, is just that it feels like the opening to Tim Burton's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, when they're just making the fucking chocolate.
Right. Yeah.
Like it's they're just making the chocolate, and every couple of chocolates there's the golden ticket, there's the golden thing, and it's great, and you're like, whoa, so exciting, and everyone's hunting for it
in years. Yeah.
Yes, and
but then you know what
it is. Hold on just one second. Let me just finish this thing. And what it is that everyone is looking for the golden ticket. They're looking for the thing because they want to win the prize of having what Willy Wonka has. And so everyone's hunting for the golden ticket, and you know, only a few people will get it. And you know, like that's maybe like a DC movie, that's like a whatever movie, or like a show, or this or that. But you're not gonna be able to do it. Like there's just too much. There's way too much going on. And not every project is incredible. And I'm not saying that you should rewrite the script every single time.
What?
I'm not saying that you should fanboy rewrite it every single time. No, but you can't rewrite like a genre every single time. It's not realistic. But you could do something different each time. You could propel the medium forward each time. Tell your fucking romance story, Mithi. Tell this noir detective story where Batman is actually a detective and not just recreating a bullet. Like tell your Superman story, what they're doing on Superman and Lois, where it's the building of a family and family drama. Tell whatever you want. A horror movie, which supposedly Doctor Strange is. I have my doubts about that.
I don't think it will be. I think it's going to be a horror movie in the same way Aquaman was a horror movie, where there's one spooky scene.
I mean, you had Scott Derrickson. I'm not saying Sam Raimi's a great horror director. Sam Raimi's a great director. Yeah. You had Scott Derrickson, who makes great horror movies. Yeah. And who you could tell wanted to make more.
Great horror movies recently, I want to say, too.
Yeah. He has the Ethan Hawke one coming out soon, too, right?
Yeah. And he did
not
Sinister.
To shit on Sam Raimi, because I do love Sam. Sam hasn't directed in a while. Sam made Oz a Great Powerful.
He has a particular style that he like
with James Franco.
James Franco and Mila Kunis trying to recreate Wicked for some reason.
Mila Kunis is in that movie.
Yeah, and Zach Braff is the monkey.
And listen, he put his heart and soul into it. But you know, sometimes.
And the movie's not. There's nothing like horrifically wrong with that movie. It's a fine movie, you know. Yeah.
It's just it's not anything special. It doesn't do any. It's what surprised me about that film was that for a movie that was touted as like his return to form and that it's going to be a Sam Raimi movie, it felt the least Sam Raimi movie out of anything I'd seen from Sam Raimi. And it felt more like a studio film than Spider-Man 3, which is arguably one of his most studio films because of everything that very shittily happened to him. It's just it's an interesting thing once you flood the medium and you stop trying to excel. You stop trying to make the best movie and you start just trying to churn it out. And you know, it's just it's upsetting. It like, I don't mean to say that like that you're trying to make a bad thing. I'm not trying to shit on these people. I may not have liked your thing,
no,
but you were trying to do something. But it's an unfortunate like consequence of that system.
Only the movie industry.
It's exactly. The content. I was just about to say it's very similar to, not to fucking bring up YouTube shit, but a lot of Marvel movies feel like content, which they are forced to put out constantly, and so you lose a lot of heart to it. You know, like to me the difference between content and art is the heart. You know, is the passion. You know, and when you have to rush something out that you otherwise would have been passionate about, you have to forgo that passion. You know, when I rush out this Batman video for tomorrow, I'm probably not going to be the most passionate about it. It's the script that I'm going to be passionate about, but you know, it's the movie itself, but not the actual video. The movie. But like, I think when you try and rush out everything as a machine, you do lose that passion. You do lose that integrity almost, you know?
Yeah, isn't there like the phrase "done is better than perfect"?
Yeah.
I mean, it's that, but like the spiritual inverse here. I think it's the fact that people are trying to hit a certain quota at this point,
and it feels very capitalist almost. Not to get on my fucking soapbox billionaires type shit. It feels like a byproduct of the consumerism of these films. Which like
we should stop going to see these movies. Not this movie.
There we go.
We'll go watch this one.
I'll go see them so I can make content about it, and then I'll tell you to not see it.
But then the weird take with this is that you, like, not to be super capitalist, but you can have it both ways. That's what this movie is. That's what the Dark Knight movie was. They sold fucking Legos for this
the reason
they sold so many toys.
The reason this movie exists, though, the only reason this movie is like this is because they've proven that Batman can sell. We are never, ever in my goddamn life, as much as I would kill for it, we're never gonna get a Green Arrow movie that's like this, that is on this level of fidelity. You know. Yeah. But we, of course, Batman, and we probably won't even get one of Superman, as popular as Superman is. But because Batman will constantly sell, every Batman movie makes a fucking $1 billion or whatever. Like,
and the thing with IP, right? The thing with IP is this wouldn't happen if it were just normal IP, because the movie. The idea behind the movie industry, you're trying to sell a movie. So if the movie's good, people are going to watch it. And if it's not good, people aren't going to watch it. That's not how it works anymore. And I don't know if we're going to ever return to that form, just because the fact that these are so many popular IPs just keeps doing this. And that's why, I mean, I watched Red Letter Media's review of Suicide Squad, where they're like, I mean, I guess they didn't know everything about this Batman movie, but they're like, they're making another fucking Batman movie. I don't want that. I want like a polka dot movie, a polka dot man movie. That's what I want, because I want these like crazy characters that like no one really cares about, because then you open the floodgates of not being restricted to the fact that it's this IP. And I think that's the sad reality, is that the fact that this is popular IP is just going to keep it like this. And I feel like we got lucky with Batman, because the quota that we think for Batman is not just the merchandise and the toys. It's, you need to be the Dark Knight.
Yeah.
You got to be as good as the Dark Knight.
Yeah.
And so every time they get people to be like, you can do something great, do something as good as the Dark Knight. You know, not do the Dark Knight, but do something as good as the Dark Knight. And we got lucky with that with Batman. And I don't think we got that with Spider-Man, but like there is a thing of Spider-Man movies are usually fine.
Yeah.
You know, because you just
the worst Spider-Man movie, which is I'm not fucking Far From Home, is not a horrific disaster. It's not Suicide Squad, you know. Yeah. It's bad. I fucking hate it. But it's like it's so mediocre that I hate it, you know.
Yeah. But
I'm not gonna get into it. I don't want to.
No, do it. You'll get more subscribers.
No, I'm gonna.
You know my fan base. You know people that follow me.
Yeah. They'll.
It's a bad movie. It's a real bad movie.
Yeah, that's
a bad movie.
But I think I'm interested. Like, who? I want your guys' opinion on this. Who would we say is the like Christopher Nolan of our time? Sorry, obviously Christopher Nolan is still the Christopher Nolan of the time. But you know how
he die?
Yeah, he did. He died when he made Interstellar, and then all the movies have been bad since. I haven't seen that.
Okay, here we go.
Fuck it, whatever. But like Christopher Nolan was able to make the Dark Knight trilogy because he had a strong amount of respect. His name sold.
He made the Dark Knight trilogy, sure, but then guess what else he also did? He built a thing in his movie that looks like a fucking tank, and it sells as merch 20 years later, and I bought this for like $40. I spent $40 to get this.
Yeah.
And it's
On
still
what? I don't see
merchandise.
anything.
I'm gonna stand
Audio
by my
listeners
dick
are
so
having a
you
great
see it.
time.
God damn it.
But, like-
I spent $40 to get this, you know? But I still fucking respect the movies as like artistic movies.
No, yeah. Sorry,
And
I
this is a
think my
symbol of
question is
that.
getting misunderstood. Like, he was
Maybe
able to
I
make
am,
those
yeah.
movies. He was able to. Those movies were greenlit because he had the respect from Hollywood. He had the, and obviously the movies got him more respect through.
He had a good pitch.
Yeah, he had a good pitch and
Yeah.
shit. But who would we like? Who could, as a director, who could turn around and make a Superman movie or a Green Arrow movie or a fucking whatever that is not tied to Batman, that is not a Batman property, with that same level of fidelity and bring bring that character into that level? I guess would it be James Gunn? Is that what he did with Suicide Squad?
But then James Gunn does it with people who like, because he's not doing with existing.
Who
IP
basically,
per se.
basically, I'm asking like,
He
what
creates his own
director,
IP
what
and he
director
does some stuff.
sells, to a general audience aside from like Quentin Tarantino, or Nolan?
I want to say.
Well, here's the thing: is that the auteur director is not a hot commodity anymore.
Yes,
now
true.
it's the studio director that is the hot commodity.
Yeah.
That's kind of the problem.
Yeah, the
And
Russo brothers
auteur
are that now,
directors.
Yeah.
The auteur directors are the ones that don't sell.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Because
are directors even the commodity? Because it almost feels like people are
It's the
more after
producers.
brands than anything.
It's more their
Yeah.
production houses, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
But
that's,
People
I
like
think
a
that's the
Marvel
reason.
movie, people like a DC movie, people like an A24 movie.
That's kind of
you
what-
call it the Nolan Batman movies for a reason.
Yeah.
You call it the Burton
Yeah.
Batman movies for a reason. You're gonna call this one the Reeves Batman movie.
Yeah.
It's hands down. But like the thing that's interesting to me is that you have a director like Denis Villeneuve who made Blade Runner, and no one saw it. He makes great movies. He's on the spectrum like of going to like Nolan level.
Yeah.
Like if not,
Which is
then
funny
he's already
because
there.
everyone saw Arrival, but then
Yeah.
like Blade Runner just disappeared.
Prisoners, fantastic. Paul Dano's in that. He's great in that. What's the other one? Oh God, I always forget the other one. It's the Jake Gyllenhaal one. Oh God.
Wait, I don't want to. I don't want to come
What?
across as a fake film.
No. He's in another one with. Oh God, it's another
Enemy?
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Crap.
Enemy, yes, it's Enemy, and then
Enemy.
there's Arrival, and then there's Blade Runner, and and now Dune. Like that's a director that I think should pack seats, but he doesn't. But why doesn't he pack seats? Blade Runner 2049 is a fantastic film, but it flopped.
Yeah.
And maybe that's because of Blade Runner.
Yeah.
And I'm worried for Dune because Dune, I
Dune's
don't
gonna flop.
have any.
I'm sorry, Dune is gonna flop. It's
Yeah,
not gonna
I
do
don't
well.
have any ties to Dune. I have
Yeah.
no ties to Dune, but I want to see it because I want to support Denis Villeneuve.
Yeah.
And I don't think that most people don't know Denis Villeneuve.
Yeah.
But why? That's weird.
I guess
right?
I guess a better question then would be: do we think that Nolan was skyrocketed to mainstream fame because of the Batman movies, or do you think the
Was he a
Batman
plant?
movies were successful because of
Was he a
Nolan?
plant?
He's a plant.
Well, it's a plan.
But you know what I'm saying?
I think it was Batman. I do think
Batman
it was
pushed him
Batman.
into, and then Inception
I do
brought
think
him
it
up
was
even
Batman.
further.
And I
That's
hate
fair.
saying
he
because-
made The Dark Knight, and then he could make whatever the fuck he wanted.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
So I guess
Yeah.
there is nothing like that then, because it was the IP
Because-
that initially sold that, and then
Because then,
yeah.
I mean, you can kind of say that about the Russos now a bit, where they're going
even
off
then,
and doing
I'm not
Rain
really.
Man,
If the
but I
Russos
don't
were to
know-
make
they
a
can't
movie,
do
I would
whatever
not
the
be.
fuck they
I would
want.
not be interested if the Russos made a movie.
Cherry
it's
was
not as
That was them.
Cherry
I didn't know
was a
that.
movie.
Yeah.
It was a movie. In fact, it was in fact.
I
a
didn't
movie.
see it. I just heard everything about it, and none of it was good.
Brian, we should watch Cherry together. I want
I'll
to
watch
see your
Cherry.
live reactions to
Yeah.
that movie.
please, let's do it.
But yeah, I don't know. I think that age is gone now.
Yeah.
So then the question is just it's kind of just luck almost now. Yeah. Like Batman is a lucky IP that gets this treatment every time. After you know what? Because I mean, do you think Matt Reeves is gonna be the next Nolan after this?
He
Not
might.
to
No.
say
He
it
very
like that,
actually that's
but-
possible.
No.
Really? I don't know.
You don't think so?
No, I don't believe so because I might just be really pessimistic. I really might just be, but I think that he'll become a more household name. I think because people like the Apes movies, these prequels, but they don't know Matt Reeves. Like if I went up to somebody, I would be like, "Oh, do you know Matt Reeves?" They'd be like, "Who?" You know what I mean?
Part of that might be the fact that he didn't
know.
direct the first one of that trilogy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's true.
So they're not Matt Reeves' Planet of the Apes movies. They are the Planet of the Apes trilogy, you know?
Yeah. But like, I think that this might help. I don't know if this is going to give him the same level of... I mean, I hope it does.
It's not that he's particularly chasing that, but...
I mean, it's likely that I think he might be right. We just may not ever get that. We may not ever get a director that is shot to household level name, unless if it's a result of nepotism or some other like studio thing, you know.
I think that the system right now is just not in place for the individual.
Yeah.
What it's in place for is the company, and that sucks ass. Yeah. That sucks.
Which I'm trying to think of the solution for that would be making more movies that help that system. You know,
I think the solution is more middle budget.
Even A24, which is seen as, sorry to interrupt again, but like even A24, which is seen as a sort of golden standard for indie filmmakers, dude. Like that's a distribution company.
Yeah,
they don't make the films.
No,
they don't make the films. Like you don't know the directors. Like I think that, like, to me, directors that should be household names. Like Denis Villeneuve, but like he's like a commercial director, but like the Safdie brothers, they're getting there, but to us, not to like other people. There are talent pools here where these directors could do stuff like this, but they don't necessarily have to.
Yeah,
their original stuff should stand. It sucks.
I'm actually interested because I just started thinking about this. I don't think this is a problem in the horror genre though.
The horror genre is very good.
Really cool about this, where it's like, I mean, like, say what you will about Blumhouse and stuff. Blumhouse is a really good platform for indie directors, or not necessarily indie directors,
that's
but like,
why so many people get started in horror. Yeah, right?
So many people. So yeah,
you do a horror
non-studio directors.
Yeah, and like and like I mean, I love Freaky. I watched that fucking, and I love Happy Death Day and shit like that.
I need to see that.
They're great. They're really fucking fun, and I think there is a chance it might take a fucking while, but there's a chance Christopher Landon might become a household name. You know, he do a couple really fun horror things, go to do fucking Superman, you know, some crazy big budget thing, kill it there. Like Matthew Vaughn, I think I guess he's not a household name, so never mind. I don't know.
He's closer, but not
closer. Quite. Yeah.
I think that's what Reeves is gonna achieve.
Yeah.
I think ultimately
Matthew Vaughn level where it's like if you know them, you love them or something.
Yeah. I mean, like, would you say that Edgar Wright's a household name? I wouldn't. I think it's if you know him, you love him.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it's gonna.
That might just be the case with film in general now, because it's like if you were to ask anybody who directed any Marvel movie, even people in the discourse, okay, pop quiz, who directed Black Widow? Because I don't fucking know.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Kate Shortland.
I didn't see it.
I think
she wrote it.
Oh no, she did.
She did. But like,
no, she did.
I had
it was Kate Shortland.
Like, yeah,
because I read
only know that because I saw the title card. I don't know that from the film or the discourse.
And it's like
I read the editor interview.
Everything is a Marvel made movie. Everything's a DC made. I mean, DC is a little bit better about it. Like the directors.
I want to see someone be like, "Who directed Black Widow?" and then someone answer Kevin Feige.
Oh yeah, no, literally. Like if I were to ask like my family who directed Avengers, they would say Marvel. You know.
Yeah.
It's that you're right. It's the studio is the one making the companies now, or making the movies now. But you have to be involved in the discourse to know who the actual director. But that might be the case for all film. Like the director is always known. Yeah.
Going back to the way of the Western, I think going back to the way of the Western, I think though when these movies do start to die off in popularity, that's when you get back to that.
Yeah.
Maybe that's when you get back to that idea of, all right, the big blockbuster studio movie isn't working anymore. We got to just try a bunch of
here's an $80 million Birds of Prey style movie, which Birds of Prey didn't like blow people out of the water because it came out at a bad time.
Which like even Joker, pandemic. Which we don't like Joker, but Joker was successful.
I'm gonna
people know Todd Phillips.
I'm coming out publicly saying it. I still like the Joker movie. I think it's a fine movie. It's like it's better than some other shit I've seen. You know,
it works,
but it works for what it is. Todd Phillips. People who watch that movie know they just recognize, they probably recognize the name Todd Phillips because it's like, okay, this guy directed this movie because it's like a director movie. And because a lot of the discourse around that conversation too was like, oh, he did the Hangover movies. Yeah. How is this guy doing it? So I think it's about generating discourse, and then once these kind of movies stop generating that discourse, that's when the people come in. That's
you bring in
that's
you
a ball
generate
game that'll
discourse
take
with quality
like 10
now.
years.
Yeah.
Would
the
you say
discourse
it's about
generated automatically.
upsetting? Would you say it's about upsetting the established order and starting chaos?
ACAB?
I was referencing Jonker.
Fuck. Yeah. Well, we all know that the Batman and and Jonker are in the same universe.
Same cinematic universe.
The Batman and Jonker.
I was going to mention another movie kind of like that. Birds of Prey, I feel like, is another one of those movies where I'm like, there are some studio mandates, but it doesn't feel studio mandated.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Birds of Prey, like, it didn't blow people away in terms of the box office. But the people that saw it, there is an avid Birds of Prey fan base. People
I like it a lot.
I love Birds of Prey as much as I don't like that there's not enough black. It's just that there's not enough Black Canary. That's the only thing I don't like. Like, and people, and like, granted, it's Twitter, so it's hard to engage, like, properly gauge
with those gross people.
Yeah,
with those normies.
People. Yeah, but it's like people that saw Birds of Prey either fucking hated it because it wasn't what they wanted it to be, or they fucking loved it. Like it's the most divisive shit I've seen since fucking like The Last Jedi or whatever, Which that's another. That's somebody. Rian Johnson is a household name, probably for bad reasons because people will drag his name through the mud. But that is a household name.
So is that the answer then? Is just you need to make controversial films?
I guess so.
Because Nolan does
piss
Nolan
off
make
the film
controversial
bros.
films?
I guess is
you can
Tenet
say that,
controversial?
right?
I don't know. I guess I don't know. People
It's
there's
just a
discourse about it a
mess.
lot.
Wait, in
Not
what
really.
movie?
Tenet is controversial in that there's a lot of discourse about if it's good.
Yeah.
People
It's
are still
good. Fuck off.
People are still debating Tenet. That's what I'm saying. I haven't seen Tenet, but that's just.
And I think the thing with the reason people know Nolan is because time after time there's a director that people point to be like, you think a movie is who's the guy? Yeah, Nolan, he's the movie dude. That's what you think. And I think with Nolan, it was like he did The Dark Knight, then he did Inception, and then he did Rises, and that was but then he did Interstellar, and then he did Dunkirk, and it was like movies that were in conversation for a lot of I don't know Dunkirk as much as the other ones, but I think the thing is it's not about getting one movie in conversation, because that's like James Gunn gets Guardians of the Galaxy in conversation, and then that's it. Or like Patty Jenkins gets Wonder Woman in conversation, and that's it. Or Denis gets Arrival in conversation, and then that's it. Those are all very different movies, but it's the idea of being like making movie after movie that gets in some form of a conversation that like gets you to that position. And I don't know, but then because you look at the other people doing movie after movie like that, but like John Watts isn't known for Spider-Man, even though both Homecoming and Far From Home are parts of the conversation.
Most people tend to know John Watts' name through Spider-Man if they're involved in the discourse.
Yeah.
If it's either I hate John Watts and he ruined Spider-Man, or if it's like, oh no, John Watts is a great people that are like my parents again. I always use my parents as an example because they're so out of the discourse, but that's because they don't go see movies, so that's maybe not the best example.
But I think that's maybe the difference between the Russos and like Nolan, where the Russos made movies in sequence that garnered discourse. They did Winter Soldier, they did Civil War, they did Infinity War, they did Endgame. Those were big tentpole movies, and yes, a lot of it was studio and behind the scenes, but they were the name. And I know when Endgame was popular, everyone knew who the Russo brothers were. They started their press tour in India, and my cousins in India knew who the Russo brothers were. Because it was just those were the movies tied with Avengers Endgame is the biggest movie in the world. Who directed it? The Russo brothers. But then the problem with that is just they didn't stick with that movie because so many other things stuck with that movie that weren't the directors. But with Nolan, when you watch Interstellar, it's like, oh, that's a Nolan movie. So Nolan sticks with you. For normal people, I'm saying, outside of the theater, you're thinking about that name no matter what. So it's about I mean, it is kind of going back to that art versus content thing about when you're making art, you are there on the screen, even if you're behind the camera. And so it's about if you're making the more people make those kinds of movies, the more you'll get those names. But right now, or at least for the next decade, no matter what happens, it feels like that style of movie making is dead.
Yeah.
We were coming back down to like the Marty Scorsese
chance, ironically,
quote
through streaming services that it could be saved. Streaming services are ripe with lower budget type things that are, but then they're also ripe with super corporate type bullshit. So it's like hard to say.
But then the problem again is the conversation.
Yeah.
Will streaming service movies generate that conversation? I don't know. Some of them do. Some of them don't.
But anyway, it is 1 a.m. for you guys.
We went on for a while.
This is a long podcast. I was gonna do questions from Patreon, but I think we should save those for next week because they're lengthy questions. But any final thoughts on anything?
The Batman is going to be pure gold. I'm going to try. I'm going to take a week off from work, and I'm going to spend every single dollar that I have trying to go see every single screening.
Every single dollar.
Every single dollar. Disgraced former Governor Cuomo.
Before we go, you guys you have anything you want to plug or just normal stuff?
I'll just say again, Batman trailer. I mean, I'm still going to be watching this, and I'm going to be thinking about this a lot, and I'll probably put something on Twitter too, because I feel like there's more to this trailer that meets the eye too, that people are just talking about the frames and shit, and it's like I feel like we talked about it for 3 hours about or at least like 2 hours.
Hey, 2 hours of those were about Flash's gold boots.
That's true. Yeah, that is very true. But we had a solid hour of conversation about
Ezra Miller's juicy ass.
Yeah,
his choker.
His choker.
But it is kind of funny that both times last year and this year, a trailer so small, just 2 minutes, has actually created like very engaging discussion.
This
for an
movie
hour.
this movie has a lot of potential to like actually really disrupt the discourse. Like,
I'm gonna write a paper about this.
Like it's a huge. The fact that the trailer is causing this amount of things both fucking times. You know, there is a huge amount of potential for this movie, and maybe people are going to be overhyped for it in a way that like people are overhyped for Spider-Man. But like, we'll see. You know, there is a serious good amount of potential.
Yeah. But there's a difference between the discourse in Spider-Man and the discourse here. There's a very clear difference, and I
this is all love.
Spider-Man fans suck.
This is all love. Like everyone's just kind of like, isn't it great? And they're like, yeah. No one's like, this isn't. Well, you do have the people that are like, this isn't Batfleck, and everyone's like, shut the fuck up. And it's just a collective, just like, get out of here.
Yeah.
And you don't see it often. So everyone's just like, yeah, we love it. And it's great.
He's not a Batman if he can move his neck. Okay.
So true. The Dark Knight is not a Batman movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Make backing out of the driveway easier.
Those movies were funny. I'll say it. Those movies had good comedy. And this movie, Tommy Wiseau. So who knows?
Yeah,
maybe
it could be great.
This movie will have comedy too.
Yeah. But I think if that's all we got to say, this has been Troy Boy 17 coming at you live with another Fanboy Talk. You can find Brian on Twitter at McDermottNY, right?
Yes.
You get that right?
Yes.
And then YouTube
correct.
at McDermott.
Yes.
Mithi, your Film Caffeine on YouTube. And how many eyes are in your fucking name?
I have 10, I believe. Just search up Mithi and then type.
Yeah, just
some
go to
amount
my
of
fucking
up.
followers and fucking search Mithi.
Go to Troy's tweets and then find his replies and find the tweets that he's angry at, and I'll be there.
Yeah, there we go. And then you can find Doug at For Every Kind of Geek on YouTube, and it's just I'm quizzing myself on how well I know my friends. It's just Every Kind of Geek on Twitter, right?
Yep.
Hell yeah! Oh, perfect score, baby. Perfect fucking score.
With an upcoming video that you're gonna.
Upcoming video is gonna be great.
Yeah.
Upcoming.
And Mithi's got an upcoming video.
And
That's gonna be
Mithi
good
has
too.
an upcoming video that's also gonna be
Yeah.
pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah. Also, we didn't talk about it. They released the first 2 episodes of Young Justice already.
Yeah. We'll talk about that later.
We'll talk about that.
Thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, it is 1 a.m. for them. Don't do this to them.
Yeah. I'm not now.
Yeah. But thank you all for joining us. Fanboy Talk. Thanks for joining. Thanks everybody for being on this.
Yeah.
And I'll see you around.
Gabagoo.
Have a gabagoo. Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.